I think we new to this. Pound for pound, break it down. Watch what we gon' do with this. Teamwork got us fluid with. Make y'all look like switches. Gave it everything when we had none. Gave it everything when we had none. Holding on by a thread, couldn't grab none. Seems we moved on to a better place. Shine away from the shade. But now that we here, ain't no going back.
That means I can't describe the way I vibe, the way I slide, and with the rhymes that make the dimes all close their eyes and fantasize. Young Divine calling their phone number. Girl, you know I love you. And you know me, I can't sleep without blazing beats on stages for their ones gracefully. And I got a smile that they hate to see. Young black successful, though life gets stressful. Though life gets stressful, go and vibe out with whoever you next to.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you want it, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move, bringing summer to you.
Oh, ready, let's go, 'cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go, 'cause you know like I know, we'll take it round and round again.
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. You got a voice, then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you want it to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody.
Sarah, I hurt myself today trying to make the pain go away. Sarah, I want to fade away, be with the stars in outer space. You come and you go, you take me high, you take me low. But I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's my leave for the melancholy. Couldn't fill a hole inside me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I numb my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah, I lost myself today trying to find ways to make you stay. Sarah, I want to go away, close my eyes, never wake up again. You come and you go, you take me high, you take me low. But I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's my leave for the melancholy. Couldn't fill a hole inside me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't.
There was Xannies till I numb my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah.
Born like a fire in the eye of a hurricane. Always told, stay in line, be alright, better play it safe. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return. Something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Fly so high they can't touch us. So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we own the whole thing. Spread it all around the world, watch it all change. Came alive, now they all see the greatness. Light shine so hard they can't take it.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I passed the point of no return. Something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive. Oh, I see the signs and I see we're there. And I feel the lies and I feel the sand. Forever hold, no matter if we cast away. A fire in the dark. I know that you will be
Yeah. Ay, push start, ay, ball so hard, ay, raise the bar, ay, turn into a star, ay, play my part, yeah, I aim too far, I do it big, I keep it large, okay, live it up, cause it's fake, better give it up, young but I feel like I've seen enough, numbers going up, better keep it up, ain't slowing down, better live it up, about too hard, ay, what, about too hard, ay, what, about too hard, ay, ay, about too hard, yeah, I'm killing your favorite rapper, it's minimum effort. Yeah, your corpse getting severed. The industry dry, it's a desert. Do whatever it is that you think that you're doing, I'm doing it better. Straight double use, that's my letter. Don't got no snakes, only ladders. Ay. They tryna figure out what's on our plate. Infinity sideways, we already ate. Skipping this basic, skipping this classic. Stay out of trouble, now I can relate. Nevertheless, again, I'm doing great. I just finished this thing, ain't no debate. You ain't my dog, you ain't my family, and sure as hell, you're not my mate. Yeah, I take my place at the summit. I can't wait till we countin' them hundreds. I cannot lie, I ain't rich, yeah, but when I say my time coming, it's coming. And some of y'all got ahead of me, to be honest, I wasn't even running. But very soon I'ma run it. I demand it, man, I want it. Push start, ayy, ball so hard, ayy, raise the bar, ayy, turn into a star, ayy, play my part, yeah, I aim too far, I do it big, I keep it large, okay, live it up, cause it's fake, better give it up, young but I feel like I've seen enough, numbers going up, better keep it up, ain't slowing down, better live it up, about too hard, ayy, what, about too hard, ayy, what, about too hard, ayy, ayy, about too hard, ayy, they not gon' like this, don't like surprises, I cause a crisis, man I'm a scientist, with the music I spice things, up to my liking, man I want nice things, that's not an AK, it's a Uzi. I pull up and shoot it to movie. I'm chasing the bag, not a coochie. Cut ties with the fake, now it's Gucci. Word of my nigga from the 021. You count 6 shots and I count 2 guns. Some people still think I rap just for fun, but soon they look up to me just like the sun. Yeah, you can come over here. Swear it's like no career. Swear you got no idea. Soon you have no career. Take a good look in the mirror. They need to know that I'm here. Don't you act like it ain't clear. Yeah, push start, ayy, ball so hard, ayy, raise the bar, ayy, turn into a star, ayy, play my part, yeah, I aim too far, I do it big, I keep it large, okay, live it up, cause it's fake, better give it up, young but I feel like I've seen enough, numbers going up, better keep it up, ain't slowing down, better live it up, about too hard, ayy, what, about too hard, ayy, what, about too hard, ayy, ayy, about too hard.
I've been working part-time jobs, chasing all my dreams now lately. No matter if I try too hard, nothing's ever enough, baby. No, I don't care too much, I don't care too much, as long as I can keep you by my side. I don't care too much, we got time, no rush. In your eyes I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes I always feel different. Tell me everything's alright. Life is just a bunch of faces, and if it's not, we'll still be fine. I know we're going places. I don't care too much, I don't care too much, as long as I can keep you by my side. I don't care too much, we got time, no rush. In your eyes I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes I always feel my heart into something gold. Knew I sold my soul to the devil long ago. I rode it all along on your wave right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go. What I do right now. What I do right now for you, for you. Carolina skies in the night, floating by your side. I fell up when you fell down, but we stayed in flight. I'm laughing to myself, cause I know that I can't deny. I can't find what you can't hide right inside my mind. What I do right now. What I do right now for you, for you.
Show me an opening in the clouds, and I'll take it. Yeah, reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, 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 oh. Shooting through the clouds, I know it's alright. It's alright. Heavens are the limit now. Let's fly just one more night. One more night. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out.
stuck in your car on a Friday night. And we laugh away stuff we try not to talk about. Still your smile keep on heating up the climate. And all the blood to my cheeks are rushing out, yeah, yeah. And by accident, you're getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah. 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone. Differently. Whatever it is, it just feels so real. And your eyes keep on talking in the silence. And all the blood to my cheeks are rushing out, yeah, yeah. And I'm hoping you are getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah. And that I'm sick of this friend zone. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone.
Apologies, guys. We were having a few technical issues. Actually, I need to fix that. Oh, there we go. It fixed itself. The custom HUD was still showing above. We had a couple technical issues, so hopefully we'll be able to get the custom HUD fixed up for in a moment. But for now, anyway, the pistol round is live. And, well, it looks like we've missed a little bit of action, but it's actually all gone the way of alternate attacks. They've stacked up around this B bomb site. And, well, it's all onto one man now. Stododo left alone, not really able to do anything about it. And, well, there we go. A quick opening pistol from alternate, who are coming in as the underdogs, Wolfie.
Oh, certainly the case. Saw currently 2-0 in the season. Last season's finalists. Alternate aTTax. Last time having to go through the relegation tourney just to keep their spot in Premier. Currently yet to play a game in the season, so hoping to make a little bit of impact. Hopefully with some changes in the books as well. No bomb plant, but Saw still going to be looking at the force buy here. 4 Deagles. Galil in for Stododo. An aggression already from the CT side. MP9 posted top of hut. Early peeks outside from Panics. He's just started to fall back towards the headshot angles now as that ramp room control is going to be conceded. Crimbo unable to really contest. Nice nade comes in as the counter. Will have to concede the ramp, and Skrunk's got to be a little bit cautious here, trying to tuck himself into a corner. There's going to be a timing for some of these Deagles as they head right above him. Footsteps, of course, are going to be heard. Rome swings it, can't quite land the shot. The Galil not quite there to trade yet, but just spam on the Deagle will do it. 4 on 4. And Bomb should be able to go down for free.
Yeah, I mean, looks like they might even have a bit of time to position themselves to try and play out the after plant at this point. Yeah, pretty much everyone grouping up, or at least 3 of the players here around ramp. There is only 1 flash, so not a lot to hold off the actual push. They are just going to need to connect the shots now once this starts coming in, and well, a nice molly. Stadodo not actually forced completely out of position though, still able to play alongside just on this crossfire, and while he takes initial contact, then they have no idea just as up close. He pops out, takes a couple on the FAMAS, and they know obviously that last player was in towards the vent, and even then there's just not time. Crystal has to back away. All he's getting to save is an MP9. He would have liked an upgrade off of that as well, rather. But Saw bounce back, they come in with a force buy and they steal it away.
Risks taken with the setup, you have to say, from alternate aTTax, giving up ramp room, allowing that T-side down the ramp, and at that point, you're playing close angles with the Deagles, and with the headshots and the 2-tap to the chest, very viable once you're into that lower sight for them to lock it down. Saved rifles, the picked up FAMAS as well behind it. Nice and clean across the board, and it's put alternate aTTax in a very rough spot here. They're going to go for a force buy of their own, but of course, CT force buys always a little worse for wear. 1 MP9, 1 Nova, and 3 Deagles to try and support it. Already down Secret's Muterus as he starts to chip away at Crimbo. They're hoping to bait some alternate aTTax players into early aggression here. Saw just holding for it in towards Lobby and Squeak respectively. But the CT side, holding strong, not abandoning their angles just yet. Although as soon as I say that, Process starting to take hut control.
Yeah, with the Nova as well, so this could be fun once he finds a little bit of contact. Looks like he might actually push through himself. Yeah, has a pretty forward stance right now. Most of these players are focused in towards the door as well, but never mind. Just as watching for it either way, letting his teammates poke out door, maybe expecting that to actually prompt the aggression through the hut, and even then through ramp as well as he swings in and finds Crystal. Looking pretty good for Saw so far, having not really sustained a lot of damage either on towards just for those 2 kills. I don't think they'll expect this double late ramp push now, to be fair, after having already killed a player here. So this might catch them off guard a little bit. Chance for maybe a couple of kills to be found. There's 1 for Panics. That's an extra $900 at least off of the shotgun. But winning the round is still looking like it is out of reach, at least for now. Skrunk might want to have something else to say about it, though. Pops up and gets 1, stealing away an AK now. The problem is a flank coming in from behind main should be good to cut him off once the smoke fades away. And that was if it was even needed. Rome was just ready instantly to go ahead and take the headshot. And, well, now it's all on Crimbo, but he's got a one-on-one.
Has a defuse kit as well. 2 flashes. Plenty of time to play with. Problem as always, Muterus just lying in wait. Should be able to grab himself an AK right at the death as well. Expensive, but up against the force buy, Saw won't mind too much at all. They get themselves the clean start. They flip the pistol on its head, and alternate aTTax now looking at their first eco of the CT side of Nuke. And I think the first of many, quite possibly. Saw a very strong map for them, Nuke. It's essentially their permanent first pick, 73% win rate across 22 maps, taking out some fairly big names on it as well. It's a mainstay, isn't it? And alternate aTTax will be aware of that coming into this one, hoping maybe to pull something a little bit miraculous off, but already the nades coming in, absolutely chewed on. Nothing Skrunk can do whatsoever. Crystal's Deagle position shouldn't be expected, though, so he will be able to get at least 1 back, and Saw need to be conscious of trying to get through this round cleanly. Can't let that T-side economy be chipped away at too often. But the man advantage now, they'll be looking to hold on to all of these AKs, and that's exactly what they're starting to do, although Crimbo removes another, and with Arky on 4 HP, this starts to get a little awkward. They need to deal with Crystal and do so, and now they should be able to stabilize.
Yeah, good work. I mean, a couple of casualties, not ideal, but overall getting themselves the early 3-1 start here on the T side either way. I don't think they're going to be incredibly worried. And we were saying that the veto is going to be a little bit rough for alternate. Definitely here on Nuke anyway. We know that this one certainly favors Saw by quite a bit, but I believe it is Overpass we have coming up next, am I remembering correctly?
It's Vertigo.
Oh, Vertigo. Sorry, yeah, Vertigo then D2. There we go. It was Overpass that we were thinking might be in play, but we were wrong. Nice shot by Panics. Okay. Just kind of trusting in himself right there after being blinded up that he would find a shot. Skrunk, though, is going to be caught dropping a molly. I don't think he survives. No. Okay, you actually would have lived through the flames, but he had no option other than to push forward, and with that was into the waiting arms of Crimbo. So the early exchanges do go the way of alternate aTTax, but there's still a lot of time here for Saw to try and do something. And obviously they do have a player down in the lower half of the map right now that is pulling a couple of these players down and keeping them busy right now.
Arky making sure that CT defense has got to be fairly split. Doesn't have too much info, though, and Crimbo seems to smell a rat. Indeed, Arky just wanders right past him. Free kill. Muterus and Rome left to try and pick up the pieces. 2 on 4. very limited in their map control, as you said. Couple of early picks going against them. It's a little fortunate for Panics, but sometimes you just got to trust those timings. And when you've played as many hours of CS as these guys have, those shots land more often than not. 2 flashes left. Couple of AKs. Going to go for the delayed outside control. I think, in all honesty, just hoping they'll catch a player looking the wrong way. Some kind of mistiming transition that gives them a pick. It's not going to happen, though. Panics a shooting gallery. He takes out the first from Lockers. And, well, Meteorus, as we said, already down on 45 HP. He's got a little bit of control, a little bit of room. Not too much money across the board for the T side. Of course, saving, not always a great plan either. Gonna look for any exit damage he can get, but he's going to be cleared out. Process, low HP, finds the frag. 4 players kept up for the CT side as well, so the response is immediate once the rifles are out for the Germans.
Yeah, that's what we need to see from them. We were saying Alternate just in general were having some kind of rough results lately, losing to Unicorns of Love and a couple other teams that you would probably say they should be winning out against. So I think if you can come in, if you can beat ESEA, who have been one of the more impressive teams early on here as well in the season so far, having taken down Big 2-1. They took out Nemiga as well, I believe it was, in a super impressive 2-0. Pretty decisive fashion. So, yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, this is the opening matchup for Alternate. It'd be nice to try and get an early notch, I suppose, under your belt. But here we go. We're seeing the AUG for Skrunk. Everything is there, of course, for Alternate aTTax. A little bit of damage had been done, so they did have to reinvest a small bit and haven't really built up too much economy in the reserve. But they've got everything for this round, which is a lot more than you can say for SAW.
Battle of the Four Spies, long may it continue. Couple of big sacrifices, as you alluded. Muterus down on the Deagle, a Mac 10 for Stadodo. Managed to get 2 AKs out, and a fair whack of utility as well, dumping most of it towards the squeaky door initially. Didn't get quite the response they were after, and now just looking to delay things. That Molotov, though, from Process going to put Stadodo in a very awkward spot. Allows Process to focus his attention out towards this squeaky door as well. Saw seemed to cancel the initial play. Instead, going to look to head towards this ramp, trying to isolate Skunk, but it doesn't happen. 2 quick sprays on the AUG. He's got more headed his way. The trade will come through. Missed shot from Panics as well on the shoulder peak, but he goes again and gets it. Molotov licking at his feet. He will be forced to fall back, but he's found his team another 2-on-4. Going to chance their arm in towards this lower site. Already rotations in place. Crystal locking down those double doors. He'll play for the sound cues, play for the information to drag his teammates down towards this lower site. Arky and Just start to clear things out. Again, limited utility, so not going to see them mollying out the traditional angles. They will be able to get the site at the very least. Bomb plant maybe to come off the back of it. Just will have to try and put it down, and Crystal could potentially look to deny. Spray not quite connecting, though. Lots of damage done, yet to find the frag, so 2-on-4 it will remain for now. And those rotations will start to make their way in. Couple of players dropping down the vents, one joining through the ramp. A 3-pronged attack for this CT side. All of the angles covered. How do Just and Arky even hope to hold on to this? They've not even got the best afterplant positions in the world. Arky trying to play half behind the silo, half on the wallbang angle, but he's already lost his teammate. Spray down good for 1 and nothing more. Process will quickly trade, and alternate aTTax looking pretty damn clean again, even realizing that they might not have had enough time, so they get the defuse kit on Panics to get the defuse in.
Yeah, they didn't panic. Knew they had the kit in play. Although Panics did panic at one point when he let off that slightly early ramp shot. I just thought it was a little bit fitting to his name. Either way, ended up holding it well anyway, and just giving them a good advantage, as you said, for that retake then to come true. 3-3, alternate. They've tied us up. That was a pretty rough buy, as we know from SAW, but it was the full investment, so now they're left on a bit of an eco here. Small bit being bought up. Rome actually goes back and buys a few nades then as well towards the end, and well, it looks like it's going to be a pretty straightforward A execute in this round. Try and get the bomb down, try and get a couple kills, maybe drop down the vent. I think that's going to be the goal, and well, there's the bomb making it down, and the flashes should give him plenty of assistance. At least there was time given for them to go ahead and drop down and give him the help, and here we go. With a smoke, they will get the bomb plant. So, I mean, already this is a small success for SAW. They can be happy with getting the bomb planted. And I think every kill now that they find on top of it is going to be a nice little bonus. Ooh, nice spot by Crimbo.
Spots the head, taps away, finds the frag. As you said, any kills from now really a bonus. They've dragged good utility out. They found themselves a bomb plant. Tech9 have just going to play ahead of that molly, try and catch maybe a timing as it burns at his feet. 1-for-1 trade, though. The Flames will find him. Crystal trying to mop things up. Got to be a little careful here. Stadodo gets one, and very quickly Skrunk is there. Couple more seconds and that starts to get a little bit awkward, but alternate attacks get it under control. I mean, Saw going to be happy with that every day of the week. Bomb plant, 2 kills, nothing more you could really ask for. Alternate attacks, I think they'll be pretty satisfied as well, right? They managed to get through it with 3 players kept alive. Keep building that CT economy on Saw's map pick. Pretty even in the opening exchanges, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible for alternate, but it was enough for Saw to take some positives from it now and come into their own gun round, obviously slightly better off than they would have been without a bomb plant and without those couple of kills. So they give themselves a chance. I mean, there's not too much money built up either. Scrunk and Crystal would instantly be broken down onto an eco if they were to lose a round, so there is some openings here for sure. I think we might be seeing some aggression clashing on outside pretty soon, but for now, most of the fight's coming in around the door, which is some kind of damage being spammed back and forth, and well, so far all of that damage has gone the way of alternate, but they have lost ramp control.
Again, Saw putting a lot of pressure on that AWP rotation. Molotov goes deep. He tries to sit in it for a while, realizes he's losing more health than's worthwhile, so drops back. Countered by aggression in towards ramp, though, and the 2-man setup here. Crystal gets the info, Process swings. Timing's going to get a little awkward, but as Crimbo takes out the outside control, it's getting a little rough for Saw. Arky and Rome trying to stabilize it with 2 quick frags. Do start to open things up on the A site, and they've got Just on a long flank as well. If he deals with the man in heaven, this A bomb site is wide open. Timing going to be everything, and Panic's looking the wrong way, gives it up. Crimbo and Scrunk left to try and recover the situation, but 2 on 4, as you said, with 2 players, 3 arguably on the verge of breaking. Saving a couple rifles could be the difference between a buy and an eco in the next round, so Crimbo and Scrunk will satisfy themselves with holding on to what they've got. Already Crimbo deep in towards spawn. Scrunk a little more stuck down in the vents, but Saw, of course, not going to hunt too hard either. They've not got too much cash in the bank, just looking to make sure that AWP doesn't get saved across is Just. He'll put that in a lovely safe spot where they can hold their eyes on it, and Saw will level things out again at 4 apiece, so a very back and forth fair initially.
Yeah, somewhat surprisingly so. I was expecting Saw to be the pretty big favourites just based on what they gave us last season, based on what they've given us so far this season, but to be fair, we didn't know what to expect of alternate. This is only their first matchup and, well, coming in pretty decently early on anyway. As you said, going back and forth is not the end of the world for them. They had taken some good control before. A couple of weapons being saved negates the fact that, as I said, Scrunk and Crystal would have been put towards an eco. Not completely. Actually, no, sorry, it does, because there is 2 M4s there. I thought they were going to maybe be lacking on 1. So yeah, they have the ability to come straight back in, but obviously Saw being on the T side, if they take this round and force alternate now down onto an eco, then they're going to get the ability to get themselves a pretty solid foundation early on, very likely of 6 or maybe even more. So alternate do need to win this round. Arky's going to go out through that door with a flash. Crystal had been playing a pretty aggressive angle in the previous rounds as well. They realize that they catch him off guard, and Process isn't really able to put up much defense from the bomb site either. So as the bomb is going down, I think already a save should be getting called for, and it's only going to be with 2 players now after Rome hunts down the vents after Scrunk.
I like the idea. Spots him out, knows the angle's in his favor. Just hold left mouse button as you're dropping down there. They're going to keep hunting this as well, looking to push the issue. Panix is trying to play a turret AWP to give his teammate a little bit of cover, but it leaves him slightly exposed. He is going to fall back off of red box, perhaps realizing that his flank is somewhat open. And yeah, again, alternate attacks. Really not much choice, right? Fast hit into that A site. Nice timing for a couple of openings. Nice trades across the board. Panix will take out one of the flank, and Crimbo will find the second. They are desperate to hold on to those rifles, and they may be given the chance to do so. Third player, not quite so keen on swinging it, is looking for it after time. The molly licking at Crimbo's feet, but it's not quite going to burn him alive. Can't quite find the kills thereafter. So still an AK, still an AWP on the board, and obviously not the easiest map in the world to make 2 rifles work in the form of nuke. You really can pull the rotations on the T side, but if Panix can maybe get an opening pick, get some control outside, you've got a couple of Deagles and a P250 on the board for alternate attacks. This certainly isn't a done deal just yet.
No, definitely not. Nice catch by Crimbo as well. And here it's Rome jumping around rather in the pushing towards the lobby from ramp. Actually catches them off guard completely. Alternate. They have gone ahead and gotten themselves a very strong 4-on-2 with the bomb down here in lobby in front of Process. Mutrus, though, actually has crept down secret and got himself 1 at least on Crystal. And, I mean, Process and Panix are not looking too healthy. And Arky has actually just been chilling around the door this entire time. So perhaps he can catch someone off guard. For now, though, alternate not really moving in. But they're not really in a position to help Process hold down the bomb either, so that's the problem. If he goes down, then it's probably back under the control of Saw, but no, never mind. Instant headshot is found, and well, now they have a good idea of where that final player is. Spotted down in secret earlier on. They'll keep an eye on ramp, I suppose. They'll keep an eye on the flank back from outside, but they know that he has to move relatively quickly with that bomb being down in lobby, and there we go. Nice little headshot from Crimbo. Alternate wake up in a round that they very much needed to do so in, and have now given themselves a pretty strong lifeline and ability here if they take this round also to start running away with a bit of a lead.
Perfectly set, in all honesty. Bought themselves a real lifeline with that sort of a round. I mean, it is the almost ideal round for a lobby crunch, right? Couple of deagles, one AK, see if you can get something done on the initial aggression, and well, they're given the ultimate gift. A bomb dropped at their feet, rifles delivered as well. So still going to be able to buy. A little bit rough around the edges. Galil comes out for Stadodo to make sure they've got the utility thereafter. And Panics again looking to make a pain of himself on this AWP. Will open up onto Rome. They know he's tucked deep, but how much more can he get here? Trying to drop the nades, trying to buy time. Smoke to put out the molly. They know exactly where he is, and they will be able to trade him 1-for-1 early. So the AWP removed. Again, that ramp control an issue. And again, Muta is taking full advantage. Process caught in transition, and nothing Scrunk can do. Hunkered down in the site. Looking to Turtle, hoping, in all honesty, he can get a 1-for-1. It's just never going to happen. Again, every time they lose this ramp control, alternate attacks, the round falls apart off the back of it. Saw starting to get wise to that now, and it definitely feels like starting to abuse it a little bit.
Oh yeah, Panic's only able to find the one as well as just not really enough. They are playing a very passive in general, and the fact that Saw have also been doing a good job at pressuring out through Secret and the vent as well also means that they can't put all of the focus towards the ramp. So it's a little bit awkward, forced into the save straight up. They will be able to buy around this pretty easily since they won out the weaker buy in the previous round and obviously saving with 2 now. But still, it's 6 already for Saw, so they've kind of hit that point where you've got a decent T-side no matter what, and everything on top of this now is just going to leave you feeling really, really happy. So it really does need to be alternate now who takes some real control and start chaining together, preferably these final 4 rounds.
Definitely needs something. CT side, it's felt like an unstable half to me is what I'll say. Both teams have scrapped in it. Alternate attacks, in all honesty, have done a good job of being a thorn in the side of Saw. Problem is, as you said, you're looking for a little bit more from your CT sides on Nuke. As the rifles come out again, a big opportunity for Saw to start breaking. Start putting alternate attacks into the dying rounds of this half, back onto the ecos, back onto the half buys where they can really start to stretch their legs. A little bit of outside control being contested. Muta is looking for anyone who peeks into the shoulder. Otherwise, just holding. I think maybe expecting a similar crunch as last round. Instead, it's going to be the delay play into the A site. Nice crossfire there, but Rome starts to tear it apart early, and now Panic's full blind on the site. 3 frags in the blink of the eye. Bomb will go down, and again, it's simple stuff from Saw. It doesn't feel too intricate. It doesn't feel too choreographed. They're just executing onto the A site. And alternate attacks just didn't have the manpower, didn't have the angles, didn't have the timing to contest. Nice second pick from Scrunk. Might start to bait them back into this a little bit. But again, they've got to start thinking about that economic position. That's a dunk nade and a half onto Crystal. And as Stadodo removes one of the rifles, he's got to try and survive now. Got to try and keep something to make alternate attacks capable of buying, if not in the next round, then into the last couple rounds of the half.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting the buy here in the next one, unfortunately, which should mean 8 for Saw. At that point, then alternate fight for the final 2 rounds. Should have a decent buy coming into them at least. But yeah, it's getting a little bit out of control for them, unfortunately. Nice shot by Crystal, though. Rips off the head there of... I'm not even sure who it was. It was being covered up by the viewers 11. Yeah, things are a little bit off on the default HUD. We'll be swapping hopefully back to the custom one at the halftime, so don't worry about it.
Fingers crossed, eh?
We've got a little bit of a break coming in, though. I'd imagine this is just a tactical. Most likely, anyway, with the position that alternate are in, having now really lost control of the situation. As you had said, it was pretty back and forth early on, but yeah, that's not what you want when you're on the CT side.
You definitely want to be putting yourselves in a more dominant spot than they find themselves in now. With 2 players built Benq as well. Justin Stadodo well set for the back end of this half. Opportunity to keep farming here. Of course, alternate attacks, we've seen them do it with this kind of buy before. We've seen what the Deagles and P250s can do when they're given a little bit of playroom. Aggression from Stadodo, trying to catch that rifle, and he will find Crystal. There's a couple of pistols here to try and refrag it, and they will actually pick up the rifle as well. Scrunk well set, should get a freebie. Backstab onto Stadodo. Arky's got to be careful as well. He's going to be traded by the rifle. Now the aggression comes in, and Process, again, finding damage with that P250. Second dink. Leaves Rome on 9 HP. Muteris now really has to do it all, and he's going to swing completely unaware of the garage. Rome has got down into the lower site, but Muteris now completely on an island. Takes another dink. It's the USP who finds the conversion, and Rome is left on 9 HP to try and conceive a 1v2. Once again, alternate attacks with nothing but the pistols. One saved rifle and making this look all too easy. Rome will hunker down in the vent. Hope that maybe there's a timing to be had. Maybe somebody drops into the awaiting crosshair, but alternate attacks really don't have to give him anything. Already split between the sites, just holding their angles, waiting for the sound cues, waiting for the timings. And Rome's going to have to try and head back up to A.
Yeah, but with the 9 health, I mean, it's headshots needed basically, or else catching these players off guard. As you had pointed out though, not in the best positions to play off of each other, but never mind. It's just going to be the instant kill from Panics. Crimbo's not going to have to worry about rotating up to play a one-on-one on low health, thankfully. And there we go, alternate again. They steal away another one of those weaker buys. And similar to what we've seen before, it's with that aggression coming in towards the lobby. I wonder if that's something that could work out better on these gun rounds now as well. Because sitting back hasn't really been going all that well for them.
It's been a rough one for Saw, in all honesty. They're taking the difficult rounds, the rifle buys, and then when they get up against these pistols, they're struggling. Aggression from Panic's going to be rewarded early in this one. The counter is to try and sneak that pistol down, but Process again looking to set himself with some very proactive play. Panics finds Arky and Process just tearing them apart on Squeaky. All too easy again. It seems like the key is aggression for the CT side. Muteris left 1v5, and alternate attacks with this round, if they can get it over the line cleanly, buy is not going to be great for Saw. An opportunity to maybe even have the lead at the half, which 2-3 rounds ago didn't feel viable whatsoever. They know roughly where to look for Muteris. They've got Bomb at their feet. Just looking to dump the utility and make sure they don't lose too many more players to him. Spotted out behind the molly, never going to happen. Crimbo gets it. 5 clean from alternate attacks to level things out at 7 apiece. All 5 players left on the board. The economy in absolute tatters for Saw. And the CT side of alternate attacks looking at a lead at the half.
I mean, either way, alternate were coming into this round balling because they had won out that weaker buy in the round before. Unless they lost like nearly everyone. But yeah, I mean, keeping all 5 alive, it's perfect. They just need to get their few nades back out. They get to keep all of the AKs. And, well, they don't have a lot to fight against, as you were saying here, into the final round of the half. With Saw being left on just pistols, a small few nades. It's not ideal. They're the team that we know for being able to bring out these tactical plays, but when you're limited with utility like this, it's going to be a little bit harder. We'll see, though. Get these pistols up in the faces down through Secret. That seems to be the goal. And, well, Crimbo's pretty aggressive, so if they can get even a 1-for-1 here to steal away that AK, then that would be worthwhile. The problem is, it's actually going to be 2-for-1. I mean, not the end of the world. They get an AK now at least to work with, but it is the man advantage, and a lot of those players were spotted working towards Secret.
A lot of information there, very limited utility to really try and change the play for the T side as well. Scrunk, wary of the aggression into hell. Process well set on the angle. Saw just hoping that there's a timing, maybe somebody gets a little keen, somebody gives an angle up at the wrong moment, but it's not going to happen. Scrunk, that's Stadodo, that's the rifle down as well. There's just a Deagle and a Tech 9 remain to try and get Saw some kind of purchase. Arky has snuck his way out heaven, but he's spotted as he looks to drop, and it's mopped up as a result. 8-7 at the half. Alternate attacks, not a bad showing at all. Looking pretty clean, if we're honest. And considering it's Saw's map pick, I think really they'll take 8 CT rounds at the half. An opportunity maybe now if they take the pistol, if they start to string a couple of rounds together off the back of it, this could turn into something impressive.
I'm just going to take the game off the screen for a second. I don't think we'll have a long break, but I do want to see if we can get the custom HUD going again, guys. We were having a few issues with it going into the matchup itself. They only started a few seconds before as well, so it was pretty unlucky. But I'll let us know anyway now if it's working. So, Wolfie, speak away for us.
Hello, hello. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. 8-7 at the half, though. I mean, we were looking at this alternate attacks roster. We were looking at the game tonight and how these two teams sort of stand within the general standings of Tier 2, Tier 3 CS. And in all reality, it should be a fairly clean 2-0 for Saw. Obviously, last season's finalists, they've looked on pretty damn good form. They've taken out Big last week as well. They felt like the team to beat for me so far this season. Not the surprise, not the underdog, just the team who is always out there putting out numbers. So to be finding success in those sort of deagles, the P250 half buys, those weird edge of your seat rounds is definitely a massive plus for alternate attacks. Definitely something to look at and think, yep, okay, we can maybe make this far more competitive than anyone thought. I think the problem is going to be Saw are a very tactical team. We see it a lot from them when we had Pilly on the A stream last season. He absolutely loves watching them. He's an analyst by trade, and some of the plays they pull off, some of the things they go for, they're just absolutely textbook.
Didn't work, by the way.
It didn't work. We're still on the default HUD.
We're getting
fine.
a new config
Look,
again, so hopefully next break we'll be able to get it working.
Look. We've got a slightly ugly default HUD, but we've got very pretty CS to make up for it, guys. It's all good. It's all good. Alternate attacks looking to play some pretty CS in this one as well. Full banks of nades on 3 players. Mollies, smokes, flashes, the whole kitchen sink. Trying to bait a man into the vent dive early, and Muterus is going to have to chew on those bullets as a result. Down to 28, nade to follow. That's him dead. Beautifully worked for alternate attacks. And now they look for the vent dive on the timing. Damage through the smoke is significant, but no kills found. And that could be the difference maker. And then out of nowhere they get 2. Justin Rome, the man advantage back for the CT side. Couple of players looking to make their way out the ramp. They don't really seem to expect Crimbo in control, but he's lost his teammate in the meanwhile. Tapping away, he will find one. Keeps it at least competitive. 2 on 3. Arky trying to bait the peek out of Crimbo, trying to get him to give his head away, and he will. All too clean from Arky, and once again, Scrunk is left 1v3. Defuse kit in the hands of Just means they only need to buy themselves 5 seconds. Swings the door, though, first on the P250. Just tapping away. He's actually going to stick it with the defuse kit in hand, and Rome's got him backed up. Saw managed to get the pistol round on the board. A little scrappy, a little awkward, but again, the teamwork shining through.
Indeed, that's where we say Saw have most of their success. It's not that they're all crazy fraggers, and while they are all capable, it's more about the teamwork. This team has been together for a very long time, and they've clearly put in a lot of effort on pretty much every single map. That's what we were kind of worried about even coming into this. The actual VO for alternate, it was just incredibly difficult to get into a strong place. And I guess with that, they probably at least knew what sort of maps they were going to be coming out towards. Again, this is their first match, so I'd imagine alternate as well have been putting a lot of prep into this one. And, well, they've been giving Saw a good run for their money so far, but obviously losing this pistol, not ideal. If their force buy now doesn't work out, which it's not really starting off too great with Crimbo going down, then it's going to be an opportunity for Saw to get a lead going on their CT side, and we know that this is when they can start locking things down.
Early man advantage found into this one as well, as alternate attacks trying to work the outside control, but the angle's just too much for them. 2 quick picks. Rome tapping away at the heads looking for yet more. They know exactly what's coming now, so spotting multiple players outside. They're trying to swarm on the T side of things. They are starting to get the control they were after. They've got Panics posted into Secret, but as he's taken down by Rome, the bomb drops at his feet. And these 2 remaining players, they're just not getting anything out of this force buy, and this was my concern. As they head onto the CT side, that team play just comes out in buckets for Saw. A clean round against the force buy. Nothing lost either. Double digits. Feels like it should be a certainty off the back of that. And as you said, already setting the building blocks for a very strong CT side.
Yeah, should be hitting double digits anyway. Without too much resistance. I mean, some deagles coming out. 4 of them, actually. This was a scary, when I was covering some Asian CS, whenever 4 deagles came out, it was basically a confirmed win. Don't think it's the same here. Hopefully not anyway for Saw, because they don't want to be letting much go in this round. This is ideally one where they just really bolster up that economy and put themselves into a fantastic position going into the first gun round, because they've already got really solid weaponry as well. So even the bonus round, which they'd basically be going into, would still be really strong. But a slow approach from Alternate so far. I guess hoping some aggression would come through, a couple of mistakes maybe that they could capitalize on with those deagles. Once this doesn't work out, I'd like to see them just group and try and hit something together.
Have to see if they can get anything from it. As you said, scraps. Like to see them maybe death ball it up into the A site, in all honesty. Hope to catch a timing, catch someone looking the wrong way, maybe get a bomb plant off the back of that. Instead, looking to play the range early on. Clearing their way in towards Trophy Room. Couple of players prodding around outside and Squeaky. Couple of headshot angles starting to make themselves appear, but Muteris' game spots it out, spots the second man as well. Now the pressure starts to come in towards the ramp. Arky a little bit isolated, has to drop his molly, has to concede the control. But tapping away, they're still not getting it done. Stododo starting to mop things up, already got one, spots and deals with the second, goes to the pistol, can't quite find the third. Should be job done though, and with Panic's 36 HP on red, the reaction times are good from Rome. Scrunk again, left to try and salvage around. 1v4 this time. Does manage to get himself a rifle. Goes for the heaven control, though, and Just is all too aware. The sound cue's all too easy to read. So just the one frag, no bomb plant found. Saw, again, getting through it a little too cleanly for my liking.
Yeah, only a single kill. I mean, considering the 4 deagles they invested into, probably wanted a bit more. It's actually left Crystal down on the Galil now as well, so that he can pull out the nades that they need coming into this opening gun round. And it's a must-win. It really is. If this doesn't go the way of Alternate, Saul probably head up 12 to 8 even. And with this being their map choice, if they can get a comfortable lead like that going, especially with an economy built behind them, then I will start to lose a lot of hope for Alternate, despite them having made this a pretty competitive matchup so far. I just need them to show me now early on their T side what they can do. And, well, here's some attempted control towards Secret. Crystal should be able to make his way across. Actually took a bit of spam damage. And I think still burned a little bit in a molly then afterwards. So down to 49. Not ideal, but he does get them quite a bit of control now, having a player down into Secret. Oh, and the rest of them dropping down the vent.
Nice timing with only Arky here. This could get awkward. They've managed to rotate Stododo in as well, but the crossfire not quite working. Only the one frag. Bomb to go down. Nice nade damage onto Process, but it's not going to deny the plants. Stododo trying to go early with that AWP as well. Needs to wait for support. He's going to expose himself around the corner of the smoke. All too easy. Crimbo now on the headshot angle as well. Saw looking to make this retake a reality. Muteris' spam not quite going to connect. He's looking for Crimbo. Almost gets caught trying to recover that AWP, and I think off that, they're looking for the save, but Scrunk is going to deny it immediately. Picks off the first in the form of Just. Muteris does find the refrag at least. And that should give them enough room to try and hide that AWP away in the depths of spawn. Indeed, Muteris will go. Rome will look for any exits that he's given on the ramp. And alternate attacks, the first of many required rounds, but they do get it on the board.
Yeah, in relatively convincing fashion as well. Keeping 3 alive. Really the bare minimum that you want to be carrying through. Probably need the drops over to Scrunk and Panics to ensure that they can get some nades out then as well. But it will be a pretty strong investment. As we had mentioned, though, Saw had done a good job themselves at making those initial few rounds clean. So they can easily buy back in. They'll have the ops, they'll have all the rifles, they'll have all of the nades they could ask for. So it's going to have to be one more round here before Alternate can really get themselves some control going. And to be fair, if they do take this one, then an eco has to come out for Saw. Alternate then get themselves into the lead. And then that next gun round could be one that could even propel them towards the finish line. So you can see the road to victory at the moment for them. It's just this round needs to be won. And again, early damage does go the way of Saw. And a little bit further now, actually, as Crystal gets spammed down as well. They recovered the situation in the previous round with Crystal being low, but it's a little bit worse right now, and they don't have nearly anywhere as much control. Pretty much just being stuck around the lobby still.
I wonder if they were expecting a lobby crunch. It feels like they were waiting for aggression from the CT side, right? Not being given any, though.
Yeah.
It's left them a little slim, as you said, in the map control department. Just starting to think about probing outside now, and Rome again with the timing. Ramp control is going to be taken off the back of it. We will start to get somebody out. Crystal playing around red will be spotted out. Arky not quite able to find the connection he's after. Has to concede again, a little bit more map control. So they've got ramp to work with. They're going to look to double back from that. Make their presence known on A, but a slight gap in the smoke gives Arky the second prong of the attack for free. Process, Scrunk, and Panic's now left. All three just going to try and deathball it into one of these sites. Could potentially look to dive down the vents. Looks like the A site is their target, though, as they start to swing out from Squeak. Rome, with just to back him up from the uppers, is all too easy. Bomb down at his feet. Panics does get one. Trying to keep it competitive. Still 1v3 to contend with. 25 seconds. Not much time to work with either. Spots out the AWP in the vent, but will be traded off the back of that. A little awkward, a little scrappy again for Saw. They're not going to be able to save the AWP into the next, but as you said, that was the round to break Saw. That was the round where alternate attacks could really start to string their T side together, and at the critical moment, that CT side has come and got their act together instead.
Yeah, again, the back and forth, which is what we were seeing in the early stages as well, that didn't end up going the way of alternate. Unfortunately for them, they didn't build up the most stable economy. I mean, it's not going to be terrible. Crystal's going to be left on a weaker weapon alongside Process. Crimbo should get his AK and his nades, no issue. but it's not ideal. They still have that chance if they win this one to break Saw down, but if they lose it themselves, then Saw are really going to start running away with a lead. Likely up to 13-9, meaning it's maybe only one more gun round after that point. So Alternate do need to make sure now that they make this investment work. Crystal's going for the Tech 9. Full nades alongside it. Might have a few hundred as well then left over, I suppose. But it is just basically all in anyway. No op though for Saw, as you were saying also.
I mean, honestly, that almost plays into their hands a little bit coming into this one, right? Feels like with the tech, you're going to be looking for a faster paced play, looking to overwhelm an Orpa, and Arky just overwhelming panics through the smoke. That is disgusting. Rome gets a second onto Crimbo, and already this buy is in tatters. Skrunk's Molly will at least get one back. Prompts Crystal to go for the aggression down in towards the vents, get that Tech 9 in a position where maybe up close and personal the spam can land. Problem is, again, they haven't really got much map control. I swear, Process walks right into it. The Molly is going to catch both of them, force them into the open. They're burning alive. Arky is isolated on a little bit of an island, but he'll find at least one before the trade. And with the damage already found onto Crystal and Skrunk, and as we said, Crystal stuck on that Tech 9, going to be very difficult for them to make this round a reality. Bomb is going to go down on that lower site. Rotation's already starting to come in from the CT side, looking to play the retake. Stadodo, the first man to peek, and he'll find a free frag onto Skrunk as well. Crystal can't get the Tech 9 working in the vents, and again, Saw just overwhelming. Couple of opening picks, trading it efficiently from that point on, just knowing they don't have to do anything too fancy. I got stuck between fancy and snazzy there, and ended up with fazzy, but nothing too special, just trading efficiently, getting those early picks, and finding rounds off the back of it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to still be hopeful there. I've got to say, Alternate overall, considering their stats on Nuke, they're putting up a pretty good fight against Saw. On paper, Vertigo, which is their choice coming up next, should be a lot stronger for Alternate themselves, but it's again, another strong map for Saw. So I don't think it's going to get easier in that regard, but I do feel like Alternate will probably find more success on Vertigo, but it's just that they've had the chances here, as we were saying. They've had the opportunities to break Saw. They've been so close, the rounds that could have turned the tide of the game in their favor. And they just keep, unfortunately, falling short. But, I mean, yeah, they've got another buy here. 12-9. It's not completely out of reach yet, but they do need to start winning a bit. And it's looking like they're going to work for some outside control.
I think the idea, again, lack of an AWP. So, trying to take advantage of the range. Skrunk has just dropped off Silo and taken half health damage. So, not the best of starts, but they have got that control. They have got a man across. And Skrunk looking to play the close angle as well. Hoping to catch somebody off guard, and he may well catch a timing. Muterus is toying with going towards red box. Everything slows to a halt. Alternate Attacks aware that they've got some opening map control, and it really is up to Saw to make the next move on the chessboard. See what control they can take back as a result. Deep mini smoke, trying to flush Muterus out into the open, and he is going to go for a little bit of a peek. Flashbang there to support. Spots out at least one, can't quite find the kill. Doesn't spot much more than that, though, so pretty aware, but that's a one-tap and a half. Muterus catches the boost. Process gone. The man advantage found. Skrunk's going to try something a little cheeky here through the smoke, and he will catch the timing at least onto one. Now they can split. Now this A-bomb site starts to feel like a possibility. Two players here. They're doubled up behind the silos, and it's working perfectly. Panics the next one to peek into the death machine that is A. Crystal low HP. That is all too easy again from Source. Simple things. I mean, Muterus, an absolutely disgusting kill to open things up. Don't get me wrong. But then from there, just turreting on that A site, making it look all too simple as they take 13.
And that forces Alternate into another pause, understandably. I mean, I don't think you can buy here. You're a little bit short on everyone apart from Skrunk, and even then he'd only get the rifle in his armor. You need to take one eco and then try and play for the comeback from 14-9. Obviously, they've got loss bonus going. I believe they're up at full now. They are indeed. So they can spend a bit. It's not like they have to go complete eco here. They can get pistols, they can get some body armor and some nades behind it. Try and make it a costly round for Son. If you get 2 to 3 kills, then it will limit Saw's economy and would likely leave them in a position where losing one round could put them down onto the eco. So you can still see the opening back in right now, basically, for Alternate. But it's still looking pretty rough, I've got to say. But who knows? I mean, they won out 2 of these weaker buys, I believe it was, back on their CT side with those lobby crunches. Will they find the same success here? I mean, it's going to be a little bit harder. They have to create the space, obviously. But it's doable.
Definitely doable with the early utility as well. Trying to flush just off his angle of choice. Pop flashes fast into the A site as the call. Try and crunch the other way. They do catch an early pick on this site, and the Org looking a little bit out in the open here for Stadodo. Finds 2 before he goes down critically. Keeps it in the 2-on-2. That Molly going to force the next rifle out, but the timing's too good. He sprays both of them. Doesn't even burn alive. Arky, they were not expecting a man to come through that Molotov. The ticks of the flames just not quite giving them enough of a sound cue to peek it. I mean, that was, again, very close to being viable, right? 2v2, bomb going down. They had the sight and a rifle. Arky with the heroics to make sure it doesn't happen, though. And now, this is where the real questions have to be asked. 14-9 down. Last roll of the dice on this buy. Loss bonus maxed out at 3,400, but if this one goes south, if they don't save anything from it, it's going to be scrappy. It'll be Galil's to get the utility they want. Sacrificing utility and head armor maybe to get the AKs out. And Saw aware of it, looking to pile the pressure on. Outside control, just contested immediately. Muterus going in dry, finds the early pick. Good damage through the wall onto Rome at least. They need a lot more where that came from.
Ooh, well, there's one more from Stadodo. Just after ESEA, nice little tight angle on towards Panics. And obviously that's the upper down. Skrunk's actually going to try and rock it. So we'll see whether he can find a pick over towards Ramp, it looks to be. But Saw don't care. I mean, they've already got a tremendous advantage, but you're just seeing the confidence that they have right now. They continue to peak. The timings are perfect as well to catch alternate whenever they think that it's finally quieted down. And, well, no, that's not the case. And when a chance comes over for Skrunk, unfortunately, just baits him out with the shoulder. 5-on-2. They might finally punish one. Weaver should be got here on his outside aggression, but still, now would have been a 2-on-4. I would imagine Saw will probably tighten it up a bit and stop giving over any chances.
Oh, timing's rough again. Stadodo swings, catches Crimbo in transition, and Skrunk with this AWP can only hold so many angles simultaneously. Arky with the perfectly timed backstab, and that's map point. 15-9, and as you look over to the right-hand side of your screen, as you look over to the buy alternate attacks have to try and start the run back into OT, it is scrappy to say the least. Crimbo and Skrunk dropping down to the Galils to pick up the extra utility. They get 3 rifles out, but that's where the nades start to slim, right? 2 for Panics, 3 for Process, 3 for Crystal. Not the buy you were after to try and contest this one, to try and make it viable. 6 rounds required as well. No early pick this time, though. Pop flashes to maybe get a couple of players out of Squeaky early, and that's the call. Just looking to loop straight into this A site. Fully blind, just can't do a damn thing, and the second comes in from Crimbo. Perfectly taken initially. Rome spam through the smoke, very nearly finds some purchase, but he takes damage as well. The first of 6 looks to be secured already. The economy of Saw, I mean, it's not awful, but it's not great either. I feel like throwing yourselves at a 3v5 into this A site, probably not top of their to-do list. And indeed, they are just going to be falling back into spawn. So double digits found for alternate attacks. The first of the 6 is landed. All 5 players kept alive as well. Of course, at this point, no harm in upgrading round on round, right? Buy your AKs, buy your kitchen sink. You may as well give it everything you've got every single time. And Saw, with this save, should be able to buy into the next. The one after that will be the real questioner if alternate can get it over the line.
Yeah, not going to be lacking anything, I don't believe. Yeah, should be able to get the drop over of the op as well, even if they want to get that into play. Stadodo probably won't be buying it for himself, otherwise he'd be stuck glass cannon. But yeah, alternate, they get themselves one more round back in. As we were saying, I mean, on paper anyway, we didn't expect Nuke to be very competitive between these two, let's be real. It's Vertigo up next where we say alternate have a chance of getting themselves one of those maps. And then on Dust 2 as well, I think honestly is one that plays kind of in their favour so far. Saw have been looking like the better team individually, I've got to say. But I feel like that's partly down to the map of Nuke. I think if you get onto something more scrappy like a Dust 2 or even like a Vertigo, then I think that's where definitely alternate can find more success. But still, I'd like to see them get back into this one, get a few rounds at least, and try and make it as competitive as possible. And look at the game we're getting from Crimbo, to be fair. He's up on 20 kills right now. Skrunk's having a pretty good performance as well.
And up to party, hasn't he? Definitely got the individuals. I think the likes of Crystal being quite far down the board, Process as well, probably causing them some fairly significant issues.
Yeah.
But as we said, this buy goes south. Maybe some more questions to be asked of Saw. Just trading spams early on. Rome putting himself in harm's way, and Crimbo might want to give this one a spam. He's done it a few times now. Chrome sets himself up on the tight angle, flashes to try and take trophy and even ramp off the back of it. Crimbo going through the smoke and he's dodging the bullets. If he hears the reload, he might want to give this one a little bit more of a go. They're going to go fast into A again. Just this time, though, from Upper does get one before the trade, and it's quick trades at that. Somehow, Stododo gets the double spray down and keeps it viable. Scrunk on 6 HP as well makes it awkward, and they can't do any more about it. The aggression is countered with more aggression from Source CT side, and they do take their map pick. They do take Nuke. It's a little bit tighter than I think we reasonably thought it was going to be. It's a little bit more scrappy as well. But at 16-10, they get their map pick. They head to Vertigo next, which, at least on paper, at least statistics-wise, is a much stronger map for Saw. They have a higher win rate. They play it more often as well. I feel like Alternate Attacks, they are really playing to the individualistic style here if they want to have a chance in this best of 3.
Yeah, again, we say Saw were the favourites coming into this one anyway. Apologies, we were having a couple technical issues. That's why we were stuck in the game for a moment. Your camera wasn't cooperating with me for a second. But yeah, I'm with you. I do think the chance really where we see in the opening into the series again was on Vertigo. If they can steal that one away, then they can see the opportunity on Dust 2. I think Dust 2 is always just a very scrappy map, and it's never really very certain for any team unless you're just massively better than your opponent, which I don't think is the case. I think Alternate are definitely capable. That's why they're here in Premier. As we said, this is one of the most competitive seasons we've ever seen. We thought the last one was good just because we got the new best of 3 format, but after giving it a season, I guess for some of those teams to iron out as well, it's just gotten even more insane. It seems like anyone can beat anyone, and well, we'll find out if that's the case or not after the break, guys, so stick with us.
I fed up when you fell down, but we stayed in flight. I'm laughing to myself, cause I know that I can't deny. I can't find what you can't hide right inside my mind. What I do right now, what I do right now for you.
Show me an opening in the clouds, and I'll take it, yeah. Reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, 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 oh. alright. Heavens are the limit now. Let's fly just one more night. One more night. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out.
We're stuck in your car on a Friday night. And we laugh away stuff we try not to talk about. Still your smile keep on heating up the climate. And all the blood to my cheeks are rushing out, yeah, yeah. And by accident, you're getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah. 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone. Differently, whatever it is, it just feels so real. And your eyes keep on talking in the silence, and all the blood to my cheeks are rushing out, yeah, yeah. And I'm hoping you are getting closer. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Is it a wild shot of letting you know that you're the topic of all of my thoughts, yeah. And that I'm sick of this friend zone. Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? Well, can you tell me something, tell me something? 'Cause I'm so sick of this friend zone.
Yeah. with this music was lurking, now I'm attacking. Not with the chatting, I just step up and make it happen. It's a lifestyle. Living young and restless, yeah, we quite wild. If I want it, I'ma get it talking right now. And I ain't got no regrets, it's my time now. Lights out when you see us talking moves. You don't know that's the topic. And if you talking juice, well then you know I got it. Then you know I got it. Nobody got it like me. You know. They can try, but can't do it like Vinny. Yeah, no permission. I got it.
Chasing love in an empty bar. Pour a drink till I make it past. The midnight hour seems to come and go, but I know. Walk on up with a drink in hand, sipping mixes cause you can. And all the lights begin to switch off. You're chasing the light, holding on for life.
Alright everyone, welcome back. We're just about ready to get going with Vertigo now, which is going to be map number 2 here, of course, between SAW and Alternate. But if you weren't with us, SAW just about took that first map. It was a little bit more competitive than I think we thought it was going to be. Maybe I'm stretching when I say just about, because it was relatively clean. But there was a lot of chances in there for Alternate to break them down and really get control. But they just kept falling short. But again, statistically, that wasn't the map that we were really expecting them to put up a massive fight on.
Yeah, I think they were definitely buoyed over by a couple of big half-by wins, but we need to get right into the action. I can hear it going off on my right. They've got a player dead already. Skrunk's been picked off down that ramp. Stadodo, the man to get the early opening. Not even the P250 this time. I think he had some early utility, but as Rome finds the second and isolated, Crystal's got it all to do. Does manage to get at least one, but that's the B bomb site now wide open. The trade's starting to come through at the very least. Panics will stop the fast rush. Keeps it competitive, sure, but 2-on-3, he's still very isolated on an island over on this B site. Stadodo is going for a very long-winded backstab as well. Spots out Process, gets some early damage, gets the conversion as well. Lovely and clean from Saw once more. Just finding trades pretty efficiently across the board. 1v3 now for Panics. Has a little bit of map to work with, as you always do on Vertigo. Starts to make his way in towards Heaven. Maybe going to look to reroute through elevators. Has the early peek, spots out just. Knows there's probably a player aggressing behind him, so will focus his attention back there. Does find the early headshot. Now 1v2. Has the defuse kit as well. A little bit more time bought for him as he starts to swing. He's going to find the second as well. Now Arky playing the site. Can't quite find it. Panics. Jesus. The big 1v3 to open things up. Alternate aTTax. If they weren't hyped up, they will be now. Quad kill in the round. 1v3 for Panics. And a CT pistol round on Alternate aTTax's map pick.
Yeah, absolutely no panic in there either. Nice cool and collected, I suppose, in that 1-on-3. Getting himself the quad kill overall, and as you said, that should hopefully ignite a fire now behind Alternate to give them the momentum to try and get things going early on here on Vertigo. Because if they can ensure now that they don't drop anything here, if they could get the first gun round as well on their CT side and just really get going, then they could very easily make this a 3-map series. We do still think it's possible, even if SAW are definitely coming in as the favourites. Mostly because of how things went last season and how they've also kicked it off this season with already claiming a win over Big. But maybe some fellow Germans can get revenge. Is that what they're aiming for?
We'll wait and see on that front. Still early days. Good force buy coming out from SAW as well, of course, with that bomb down. A cash injection. 4 Galils, just the one man on the Deagle, and that's Arky having a poke over towards B. That smoke not quite lined up as well as he thinks. Spamming away. Damage traded and actually coming out in favor of the pistol. The rest of SAW looking to get some mid control as well. Crystal only on an MP9 is going to have to fall back, dump some utility to try and buy time for the rotations. Deep smoke's coming out. Counter util across the board now as SAW looking to regroup. Knowing they've baited out a lot of the nades, they've got the mid control, they've conceded it again, and now they're looking to loop back towards B, but Alternate aTTax have got a good read on this. They've rotated a second player in, they've cheated Crystal round. Still 3 over on A, that could start to become a real problem though, as now they are prodding, now they're poking. Arky gets the better of Crimbo at long last, tapping away with that Deagle through the catwalk. And SAW actually, with that opening pick onto B, are just going to reroute the plan entirely back up the ramp. Process and Scrunk here to receive. You can't imagine there's going to be any cheated rotations. Looking for a timing on this boost. The auto-director not going to give it to us, though. Romans to Dodo, if they round this angle, MP9 up close could be dangerous. Early trade goes his way. Process gets 2. Has to stay alive, though, and on low HP, it's surely going to be impossible. Just gets him. Panics is the first man to rotate in. He has got a couple of low HP bars to play with. He's got Arky on that Deagle as well. They're trying to put that bomb down, but they spotted Panics, and he should be traded and will. Just grabs the frag at the last moment. SAW find their force by success, and look what it's done to the economy of Alternate aTTax.
Absolutely destroyed it, as you'd expect from the force buy being 1 out. They only get the 1400 loss bonus. They're going to find the force buy of their own, most likely, but it will be nothing in comparison to the Galils and all the nades we've seen from SAW. They've got a scout, and actually have armor behind it, to be fair, which I wasn't really expecting for Panics. A little bit better. I think he got that dropped over from Process that looks like he gave him the Deagle in return. But the early aggression isn't really going to go too well. Crystal gets caught pushing down the steps. His backup, being Crimbo, is forced to fall away immediately. Only having a CZ and not wanting to take a fight against multiple players at mid-range with that weapon. So early advantage for SAW, and now they have a chance if they can take this round relatively cleanly as well to really get going themselves here early on. Only one player to try and actually defend B. No rotations coming in yet.
Oh, he's been spotted, I think. The backpack should have shown there. Panics is starting to make the rotation, but as first Jenny's is smoked off, yeah, he's definitely spotted. Now they know exactly where to hold, exactly where to look. Panic swings into it, somehow doesn't go down, and actually, SAW stalling a little bit at the top of this ramp, are going to have to relocate. I thought they'd have the B-bomb site relatively freely. Instead, they're going to have to loop back around, and with a player behind the sandbags, Process could do a lot of damage here. They haven't cleared sandbags at all. The bomb is starting to make its way around. The rotations, yes, they're coming through, but Process is in a position to deny this whole thing if he swings at the right time, but he doesn't. Right as he looks for it, Arky is watching. 2 on 5 now for Panics and Crimbo, and I think at this point, the save has got to start to play on your mind. Crimbo will find 1. That's an AK to be saved as well. Surely now definitely looking to keep their hands on these rifles. It will be a second round on the board for SAW. They will find the conversion a little expensive. They do drop an AK over to Crimbo.
Yeah, a little bit to come away with at least. Should be able to keep the scout also. I don't know how much SAW will actually want to hunt this, considering that most of their players are working with rifles and the one who has the UMP is already low health. Although Arky's on a little bit of a look around. He might be able to catch 1. It is definitely possible. I believe that's just Panics who's holding down at the bottom, currently rocking his pistol, so We'll see whether the peak comes in. Doesn't look like it's going to. Stadodo's not going to make it in time either. So, yeah, as you said, an AK and a Scout carried over. They won't have anything really behind these, sadly. I don't know if they have the pistols that they can maybe give to teammates. There's a Deagle, at least for Skrunk, that's been dropped over. So they have a chance to try and make this a costly round. But it should be a 3-1 lead for Saw, unless Crimbo can pop off, or maybe if Panics can tag up a few players with that Scout and make those pistols have an easier time. But they got a CZ as well as the Deagle.
Nice aggression from Panics early on. Finds the tag on the Scout, but not the conversion he's after. And the molly separates him from the teammates, so you don't even see one of those pistols looking to swing and recontest. Still definitely some opportunities with this firepower. Stadodo taking a lot of damage, and up close and personal, the CZ of Skrunk will get just. That's an opener. That's a rifle as well, more importantly. Skrunk will squirrel away that AK-47, and he's forced Saw to rethink. With Stadodo so low on HP, he's so vulnerable. He somehow gets the timing, turns and catches Process right on that backstab. Oh, this wallbang nasty from Muterus. He goes down all too easily, but he is quickly traded once more. It's expensive for Saw, but they are starting to get through it now. Still got to be conscious. One player low HP as Crimbo gets one, and it's really all on Arky here in the 1v2 with Stadodo again. He's been on 10 HP pretty much since the start of the whole round. He's going to look to go back towards B. Drops the bomb deep in spawn. Doesn't want to be the one to drop it in transition. Instead, trying to play the sound cues. Trying to maybe draw the rotation. It looks like Crimbo might just have fallen for it. Has started to make his way back. Started to head over to that B site. And now really just a game of timings. Stadodo and Arky will make their way up towards this A site. At what point does Crimbo decide that B is clear, that B is open, and that it was all a ruse? He's hanging around an awfully long time. They should be able to get the plant for free off the back of this as well. Get whatever after plant positions they desire. Of course, Crimbo, I really don't mind him giving this one a go whatsoever. 1v2, low HP on 1. Whether it's confirmed or not, another matter. Crimbo will start to clear his way through CT, but he's not going to go for it. Not going to bite. Despite the low HP bar of Stadodo, he can't know that he's low. Instead, he's going to look to save that AK over on the B site. Should be giving it for free as well. It's expensive for Saw yet again. But alternate attacks, I think this might be the big difference maker between the nuke and now this on Vertigo. Those were the kind of rounds they were winning, right? Those were the kind of rounds that gave them a CT half on nuke. And this time, they're just not quite getting them over the line.
Yeah, not quite as easy either, I wouldn't say, to make those weaker buys work here on Vertigo. On Nuke, you could see them just kind of pincer in between ramp and lobby, and instantly you're in the face of your opponents, and you've got those close-range fights. You've got to work a little bit harder, especially around ramp, if that's where most of the pressure is coming through. So it is unfortunate. As you said, there was a good molly as well early on to separate Panics from his teammates, so that there was no attempt of the trade on mid, even after Panics connected the damage. So it was just, in general, well played by Saw also. And they've got themselves the 3-1 early on. The buy obviously now coming out. AK saved over, gives them a slightly better buy than it would have been otherwise, but they do still see Process limited on towards the FAMAS in order to get full nades. But I guess that's all. So other than that, it is pretty strong, and well, it looks like we're going to see some fights around ramp. Early on, though, Saw aren't really looking to work too aggressively, and they've thrown some nades. Definitely that'll keep alternate busy, force out a few of their own nades and smokes and such. But it doesn't really seem like Saw want much to do with the A ramp at the moment. Most of the focus actually back over towards, I believe, mid right now.
Been an interesting change in the dynamic of Vertigo. Mid wasn't normally too heavily contested beyond maybe a lurk player. Now the splits really starting to make themselves prevalent. Close angle for Panics. Does catch the timing on one. Muterus flashed off as well. Can't necessarily find the refrag. Panics drops the molly. Buying yet more time. He's being wallbanged down, but the second flash over the top will save him. 3 on 5. They know exactly where this is coming from as well. All the nades being dumped down that ramp. Perfect pop flashes again. Saw just absolutely hamstrung. Just will finally find the opener. Headshot angle will be good for the second as well. Needs a little bit more though, with Stadodo again down on half HP. Plenty of damage on the board. A stray bullet will kill Just. Done well to even get 2 frags to try and make this one viable. 2 on 3. Skrunk has started to smell a rat and has made the rotation. Should be in a perfect position to cut this play out. If he doesn't get timing done, if he doesn't get an awkward fight. Both players tagged up, a double spray down very much on the cards, and he's calling the rotations. They're going to stack it up on this A site. There's the first Skrunk. Awkward off angle. Will be traded down. Stadodo doesn't lose any health to it. Half HP. Maybe this 1v2 starting to feel like a possibility. Process not peeking initially. Bomb will be able to go down. Does he expect that close angle already? Process sticks himself up on Dark. Looks to peek from on high and gives the game up. Crystal's been spamming as well. STDODO knows exactly where he is, and he lines up the headshot. A big 1v3 clutch coming out from STDODO. Limited firepower, limited health. And somehow, he manages to make it stick, replicating Panic's antics on the pistol to perfection.
STDODO is nuts. All right, yeah. As you said, Panic's had found himself an early clutch, but he's kind of quieted a lot since then as well. We've got to remember, he actually found 4 kills in that pistol round. So that was it's a nice round for STDODO to wake up in. You've also got Just and Arky playing pretty well. Just everyone right now on Saul looking to come to life early on. And as we had said for Alternate earlier, that clutch may light an extra fire under Saw, because it already seems like they've got something going to driving them right now. Just might find a little bit around here on the ramp. That smoke's going to fade away soon, and there's a player on the other side of it. And on mid right now, Panix is actually up behind the sandbags. Ooh. What a shot! Takes out Muterus with a quick flick after Dome and Roam. Just might at least pull back a little bit here, but look at the damage. He's left on 8 health. Arky already tagged down to 10. And there is an AK even in the hands of Panix, but even then, that P250 is plenty for Skrunk.
Deagles, man, Deagles. Alternate aTTax looking to do it again. Such a nasty angle from Panix as well. On the AK now. Toying between the 2 angles, but as you said, both players 1 bullet. The spray down will connect all too easily. Alternate aTTax steal away their second. Not going to be a complete reset for Saw, but a pretty harsh one regardless. They have been coming close on multiple rounds on their T side. Finally, Alternate aTTax able to stick the landing. Good buy coming off the back of it as well. Panic straight onto the AWP. Rifles for everyone around him. Good utility across the board. And as Saw Force, it's a very different picture. 2 techs, Mac 10, couple of AKs. Not a lot of firepower whatsoever. And they're not really going to be able to contest the ramp either. The utility just not there. Having to back off instead, opting to try and take this stairwell initially. Crimbo does have the nades. Molly goes close. Arky looking to be flashed in behind this, and he's very close already. Free fag for the first, and I don't think Crystal expects it. The spray down's good. The B-bomb site wide open in the blink of an eye. And I don't know if they even go for this alternate aTTax. I don't think they can really justify it. Panix is locked out. The 2 rifles down the A ramp in an instant. You cannot be making those mistakes, man. Saw opening the door all too easily. Arky has to be traded. STDODO will start to hunt, of course, on the Mac 10. Not too fussed about losing it. Everyone else who was on Tex has managed to grab a rifle. They'll be looking to save those. There's the shot from Panix. That should ensure that 3 rifles are kept. Gives them a little bit to work with. But again, losing those kind of rounds, it's what can destroy a half.
Yeah, they can just about buy back in themselves, but as you said, Saw weren't really in the greatest of positions in that round to actually pick up the win with the buy that they had. Now they come out with some weapons on top of it. We'll obviously have to still put some reinvestment back through, and unfortunately for STDODO, there's not going to be any ops going. But it's a pretty decent buy overall that they get to try and now just break Alternate completely down with. Win this round. Saw at that point then are going to start running away with a 7, maybe even 8 round lead. And Alternate realised that. That's why the pause now has come true. I'm presuming this is a tactical from Alternate anyway. I think that's a safe bet at this point. There is still the op, obviously, for Alternate, which, as we said, won't be there for Saw. So they do have that ability to maybe try and take some early challenges. Get an open and pick, take a little bit of pressure off themselves. And, I mean, even then, they've got a solid buy overall. There's nothing really lacking. They've got all of the nades even in play. Look how top-heavy that scoreboard is right now, though.
Okay, Panix. Having a day. Gonna contest the ramp this time. 3 players making their way up. The flashes aren't good, though, and Process just farming off the back of it. Triple spray down. The round's pretty much decided already, unless Saw can pull off another big 2v5. Nade damage through the smoke significant as well. I mean, can't ask for much more than that. There are set nades that you need to know if you're going to take that A ramp control, and a couple of fluff lines really heavily punished by alternate aTTax. As you said, this was the opportunity for the break. This was where they could maybe plan their half, and instead, another 2v5. Rome's starting to sneak his way up the scaffolding. Molotov to flush Process out. Wallbang's trying to connect. They know where 1 is. Molotov's going to keep Crystal in the angle as well, so he will be taken down early. At least 1 frag, but so much more required and more utility coming in as well. Panix is going to get a freebie here right as Rome looks to swing. Arky on 63. He's been stuck on the ramp this whole damn time. He's picked up another molly. Will flush process out and finally will get the kill he's been after for about 30 seconds now. But still a 1v3 situation. 2 players on the site. Spotted as he comes up. Scrunk will get the conversion. Alternate attacks. Firing on all cylinders. And this is what I expected from their map pick, right? Proactive. Taking the control. Making it a reality.
Yeah, it's what they need. It was really how they were finding rounds back on Nuke as well, as we were saying, especially on those weaker buys. And once they kind of realized that the sitting back wasn't working on Nuke and started showing a bit more aggression, we started seeing a bit more from them on their CT side. So it'd be a relatively similar playstyle you'd expect, I suppose, here. Looking to challenge somewhat around the ramp, not too aggressively though. There was a bit of an initial peek and then just some nades over, which actually do tons of damage onto both the Dodo and Mutrus. So not a great start into this round for Saw. But they will at least get the ramp control for their efforts, I suppose. It's all they really seem to be looking for now as well. So I think we're going back to more the standard Vertigo hits right now in this round. Tried and trusted, I suppose. A little bit of a wall bang. Not a lot. aTTax has definitely been heard scoping up, though. As the wall bang actually not landing. It looked like maybe those last couple of bullets might have.
A little wall bang, never going to do too much. So trying to stick around on the A site. They will pop flash the team in. They will be able to start pushing them off the angles. Panic switches to the Deagle, gets one and the second. The spray down all too good. Can't hit the no-scope. Still the 3-on-3, but damage onto all 3 remaining players for Saw. The Molotov will completely keep them out of the plant. And that's going to start to be a problem as the smokes do look to fade with 40 seconds left on the clock. Orp at least recovered for Stadodo. Process with Crystal here to bait them in. This is such a nice setup. The bait and switch, the old classic. Crystal gets the first. Dodo can't land the AWP shot. Will be picked up by Muterus, chucked across to the teammate as he gets his hands on the AK. Arky next to pick up the mantle. So they look to make their way out onto this A site. 2 players still here though. Arky with the AWP in hand is going to try and get this bomb down. And with 10 seconds left, he has to stick it. No pressure from the CT side. Scopes up on site. Hoping someone gives him the peek he's after. He's going to try and retreat through the catwalk. That leaves him vulnerable to Process on the dark angle, and he'll find the frag as well. Muterus now, nothing he can do. 1v3, gets caught out by the swing from elevators. Crystal finds the frag. Alternate attacks have 4, and that should finally break the economy of Saw.
Looks like it. They got the bomb down at least, so I mean they can just take one eco and then likely come in with a pretty strong buy. Obviously, though, alternate being here on the CT side of Vertigo, now getting themselves a chance to build up a pretty strong half. They'll get towards 5, which obviously isn't somewhere you want to end, but being tied 5-5 early on after having a rough start as well is a good spot to be in on that CT side. As I said, with the bomb slightly short of the full buy, we'll go for some pistols, and I mean, yeah, doable. Maybe they'll hit a quick rush rather. They've got a smoke, loads of flashes to work with. I definitely can't see some openings here, and it's actually Panics who's up close on mid. Insta-dink despite hitting the flick. Will now be hunted down, but he has assistance. Process is going to be there to help out. Sprays down 2 before eventually falling himself, and by the time they actually get towards Panics, Crystal has already rotated back into position, so he's ready to recover the op at least. 2 casualties, not too bad considering the investment that actually came in from Saw. It is unfortunate though, they could have done with building up a bit of an economy for themselves. You can see 2 players are a little bit low.
Could have done with a little more, but I think they'll take what they were given. I don't know about you, Dean, but I think 6 rounds, T-side, pretty decent half.
T-side or CT?
T-side.
T-side? I think Saul will probably be looking for 7. Maybe 8. But yeah, man, 6 isn't bad. I think that's kind of we've done enough, at least half, do you get me?
Yeah.
But I think it requires you then to get the pistol round, otherwise you're in trouble.
Looking for that A-ramp control again, but the utility so consistent from alternate attacks. This time doesn't find the damage, but stalls him out at the very least. Second molly comes in just to buy even more time. Everybody pauses for a moment. They are going to start sneaking their way up that ramp. Start looking to take the control. 3 players, of course, here on the A site, ready and waiting. As the close angles are cleared, the sandbags is mollied. They start to swarm early, and they do get an early 1-for-1. Crystal spotted out and dealt with as well. Now that catwalk player is all they got, and Arky finds him. Explosive into the A site. Nade will do some work onto the planter at the very least, but I don't know if Panics really wants to chance his arm here 2-on-4. He's going to start looking over the top of the smoke, see if maybe there's a peek to be had. Just playing behind the pillar. That molly will flush him out, but he can't stick around, Panics. And that's going to be his downfall at the end of the day. Flashes start to rain in from the T side to try and buy a little more time. The smoke's not yet faded. Well set in the afterplant positions as well. Saw Panics actually just trying to get out of dodge with that AWP being spammed down while he does so. Will be able to escape. But it's a 6th round with 4 players kept up as well for that T side. Rebuilding what was a shattered economy as alternate aTTax look to try and salvage the remnants of theirs. These 2 saved rifles will form a very strong backbone. A drop a piece, Scrunk can buy up as well. It will be a good buy again for alternate aTTax. A wise call, but not one they want to be making. That A-bomb site, again, just individual 1v1s breaking it open.
Yeah, but I mean, that hasn't been the most consistent way for Saw to win rounds, as we've seen with them having lost a few in a row before that. But as you said, now they've got the 6 rounds, so they've kind of got the minimum T side that you want here. It's just with the fact that they had, I believe it was a 5-2 lead even at one point, they probably will be looking for a little bit more. And if they win this round, they'll probably get a lot more on top of it, because then you will see alternate being put on towards an eco. Seeing some aggression though around the smoke right now. There is a spot being found there for Scrunk, and, well, no trades immediately ready. The spams come through the smoke desperately, not finding any connections though, and with that, Scrunky falls back. He keeps them the 5-on-4 he's got at the moment. The rest of Saw being a little bit timid about actually trying to move back in for the control of ramp now as well. So it has actually been successful and also delaying quite a little bit. And that's allowed them to rotate Crystal over. They're actually stacking up A with 4 players now.
Utility comes in again, chips away at them. 2nd for Scrunk. He's going to reaggress as well. 3rd on the spray down, completely taking the A ramp control. Finally, he goes down, but Process is there to back him up. Aggression matches aggression. Arky left with a little bit of scaffold control and not a lot else. Panics takes that away as well. 6 all leveling things out. The aggression, well-timed, well-executed from alternate aTTax to get themselves level. And to actually break Saw's economy as well. One of the most fragile economical games I think I've ever seen. The breaks have been going back and forth. Another big call to be made for Saw. I mean, they've got enough for Justin. Rome could pick up AKs. Arky could do the same. Sododo maybe drops to the Mac 10 to get the utility. Muterus picks up a tech. We've seen those buys work before.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're seeing a Mac 10 here from Muterus, so I think you're pretty correct that they are going to come through with whatever they can afford. And yeah, they've got the couple AKs. Sododo, what's he coming out with? Might keep a little bit. Nah, he's actually just going to go straight in on the Mac 10 and full nades behind it. So this isn't bad at all. Two Mac 10s that can kind of lead the way in a quicker push potentially, or but once you do get moving in towards a bomb site at least, and then a few AKs that can maybe work some picks from the back here. So we'll see what the goal is. Is it going to be another straight up ramp push from a few players? It does look like it. I don't think they're going for anything too crazy, just another standard default. We'll see whether they can actually find any success this time though. Process again is looking for this fight. We've seen him find some mad spray downs already from this position. It's going to be 1 so far, and again, he seems to be pretty happy with the advantage that they've taken. Skrunk's trying to take some attention away, I believe. Sododo actually just runs through the molly. He nearly burns. Crimbo should have a free kill here on towards Arky as well, and this round is just falling apart for Saw. They're not finding any success, as barely even any damage has been done.
Couple of mistakes has really been punished again. That's one of the key things about Vertigo. 1-2 mistakes, the round's done. Not that kind of mistake, not a misnade kind of mistake, but a misplayed, an off angle, a read that goes wrong. Rome will start to try and salvage. Gets the early pick at least. Scrunk is gone. Problem is, Muterus is still on that Mac 10. I'll pop flash him out, hope to get the pick, and he actually does find Panics. Process trades, and now Rome is left 1v3. They know exactly where he is. His opening spray down will connect, but he takes a lot of damage for his trouble. With Crystal already rotating in, Crimbo starting to clear his way through the elevators. Should just be a matter of time. I say should. Rome will be allowed to get that bomb down as well. Alternate aTTax playing this one smart, playing it together. They'll hear Rome looking to retreat out the ramp. You know the afterplant is in, and Crimbo's just going to straight stick it. 5 seconds off angle. I don't think Rome has any idea at all. It's done. Defuse comes in. Rome will have to satisfy himself with saving the AK-47. Intelligently played by alternate aTTax, spotting that that bomb can be defused from a weird angle. Would have had to run very quickly and give away his position if he wanted to peek from catwalk. Lovely stuff. 7-6. Still an opportunity to build a half. If they get past this one, Lost bonus of 2,900. Last buy will be a little bit of a more relaxing affair. So 3 AKs, a Galil and a Mac-10 to try and get through. An aggression, the order of the day again. Early nade coming in from Crimbo, chipping away at Dodo and Arky.
Yeah, not bad. He won't really be aware of the damage he's done, but either way, it will help out once a hit starts coming in. And well, it seems like a lot of that focus is going to be around B right now. I think they've got one player holding around the bottom of ramp, being just, I'm pretty sure, making sure they're not going to get pushed down. And that's fair. We've seen aggression a few times in this area, so definitely want to make sure you're not flanked out. But they're making a lot of noise towards B, and it seems like it's made it a pretty easy read for Alternate to get a few players in position. The question is now, is that just a bit of a fake maybe? Because again, they've got presence around ramp, and yeah, they're starting to move the bomb back in this direction. Don't have control yet though, and I do believe Skrunk's in a pretty decent position to get this early info.
He's perfectly set. Just playing the shoulder peek. Start to queue things up. Hot flash out. Here comes the early utility. Skrunk will have a smoke in his way for the time being. He's hanging around, seeing if he can catch a timing. Molotov in hand as well. Rome starts to take the fight, but it doesn't go his way. Crimbo drops and will be traded. That starts to maybe drag them back towards B here. Already Crystal, aware of the threat, has rotated, but as he's taken down, B is looking wide open, and they're cutting the rotations through mid. Muterus does it. That's the bomb transferring in, and again, a little bit of magic, a couple of nice timings, a small mistake once more, right? Crimbo a little too aggressive down the stairwell. And a 2-on-4 that the CT side want nothing to do with at all. It's feeling eerily reminiscent of Nuke, this one. Back and forth. Neither team really able to put their stamp on the first half. And that's why, again, I start to worry for Alternate Attacks, right? We said it of Saw. They are a very strategy-based team. They've got the individual firepower, don't get me wrong. They've got the skills. But they play around this unit, this style of CS that is so thought out, so intelligent, so premeditated, and it plays beautifully into the hands of CT sides. Panics and Skrunk will save, hope to give themselves the narrowest of leads at the half, but again, neither team able to really at least assert their authority in the first half.
Yeah, well, Alternate have had most of the control, to be fair, since the gun rounds have really gotten going. Again, Saw at one point had like a 5-2 lead, I believe it was. But overall, it is coming into a position here where it's going to be close no matter what at the halftime. One team's going to have a single round lead. I think if Saw find it, then they're going to be feeling pretty good, as you said, with them swapping over to CT next and being a pretty comfortable Vertigo team in general. Oh, this could be dangerous for Arky. Never mind, spots the foot apparently. Not even sure if he had vision. Either way, just spammed away. Crimbo goes down, and well, he's not going to be feeling too happy about that one. Panics is only good for a single kill as well on mid, as Muterus was basically shoulder to shoulder with his fellow teammate right there, ensuring that any kill was not going to go untraded, and is now just keeping them busy around mid, trying to slow those rotations while they were initially setting up for the B commitment. And I think we'll still follow up with it. This is going to be
flashes over the top. This is going to be awkward. Crystal's on the catwalk. Nice angle, but not the right timing. Traded 1-for-1 at least, but Skrunk can't get anything else done. Process is left. Does get the early frag in mid. There's damage on both of these players as well, but that nade should finish the job, and indeed it will. Fire from above, 8-7. Saw do have the lead heading onto their CT side, and I don't know about you, Dean, but this is where I start to get a little bit worried if I'm Alternate Attacks. 8-7 down. If the pistol goes wrong again, if Saw can find themselves that early spree of rounds, a la Nuke, then this one could be over very quickly indeed.
Definitely. It really does seem similar to what we've seen with that first half being really competitive, as you said, on Nuke, and then things just kind of falling apart, unfortunately, when Saw got going on the second half. It's a little bit harder, though, I think, here on the CT side of Vertigo, if we're going to be fair. There is still a chance if Alternate can get the pistol, make sure then that they don't drop a lot against those force buys and get themselves into probably a lead before even the guns come out, then yeah, I can still see them winning this one. But obviously they not only need to take the win here, they still need to take us towards Dust 2 and manage to pick up a victory there then as well. So they've still a pretty long road ahead of them. Saw, on the other hand, victory, they can probably feel it, especially if they're able to get off to an early start here, as you said. Get the pistol, get the first gun round. At that point, then you'll just be rolling in confidence. People might be confused. This is still just a warm-up, guys.
I was about to say,
JK Roman has an off-in pistol.
Getting a little bit lost with these sort of rounds. This is the half-time break, is what it is. Players a little bit of time, just get your aim in.
We'll do that. We'll chill over the B-bomb site.
Chill over the B-bomb site. An interesting site, actually, the amount of changes it's been through. I can still remember the days when we had 2 sets of generators and a site that was all on one level.
Oh, yeah.
The good old days. No, it's...
You used to have the window you could boost up into as well.
So many weird changes that have come through, and it does definitely feel to me that they've started to level this map out. The reason I bring it up, especially with us looking at it now, is that there was a new compatibility version of Ancient uploaded last night, which is normally, if not a sign, then a hint that Valve are thinking about doing something with Ancient. And of course, starting next Tuesday, Ancient is in the map pool for ESEA Premier, so very intrigued.
Look, Wolfie. Best saving spot.
Oh, stop messing around with the camera. Give us auto director back.
We're back. We were waiting. Honestly, that's still less confusing than people running around killing each other and everyone not knowing what's going on. But here we go. We're into the pistol. We said it's important for both sides. I think probably a little bit more so for alternate right now, just because they did lose the control towards those final couple rounds.
Rome playing with fire. Tagged up already. Gonna have to concede the angle. Alternate attacks with a very clear plan in mind. 2, 3 smokes, 2 mollies. 3 decoys and a flash, but 2 of them going to be taken away immediately. Aggression from Arky, and what is that one-tap drive-by? I barely saw him. 2 frags in 2 seconds. He will be taken down by Process, and they do have an isolated player. The double dink will come in, so leveling out at 3-on-3, not a bad look. The plan is definitely out the window, but what can they scramble off the opportunity? Muterus alone on this B site. Spots out Process as he makes his way up. Skrunk's going to line up some utility for him. Muterus out in no man's land behind the headshot box as well. Swings far too wide. Easy frag. B-bomb site now looking very open indeed as the utility does come in. The mollies, the smokes, the flashes. They kept them for so damn long. Nothing just can do. And Rome, tagged up in that early engagement, now finds himself 1v3. We'll hear that bomb going down from his safe haven behind first generator. Tapping away, will find himself the first. Diffuse kit is down on the site. Skrunk, the next issue, and as he peeks wide, will be spotted out. Grabs himself that kit, but the problem is already the crossfire is established. The afterplant is here. No utility either for Rome on such low HP. Skrunk just toying with his prey, waiting to play the timing, play the angle with his teammate. There's the one tap. We level things out at 8 apiece, despite some absolute heroics from Arky early on.
Yeah, that was nuts. As you said, that second shot, I barely even seen the player he was shooting at. It was just insane, I don't know. But either way, alternate, they pulled it back. They had found 2 instant recoveries and then play out at 3-on-3 fantastically. And I'm liking what we're getting from Skrunk. He's looking pretty crisp right now. He seems to be waking up here on Vertigo. He had a pretty good first map as well. Panix is playing fantastically. Process has found a lot more form than he got on Nuke. So I am believing that they can still do this for sure and make it a 3-map series. But first of all, they've got to overcome the Force Buy here. And it's a Scout and Deagles. Not as strong as the T-sides normally get. But I do still like the combo, as I've said before. If the Deagles can get a couple body shots even connected, the Scout becomes way more dangerous. And if the Scout can tag up a few players, then those pistols become incredibly effective. So it can be pretty scary to deal with.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Alternate attacks, giving it the respect it's due as well. Nothing too insane early on. Some early probing on the ramp does get rid of the early utility. Into the mid-round, they look to take the controls. Stododo will be the first issue. The bait and switch with the scout. Tucked into the close corner. An early tag onto Process will give the game away, though. Tags coming through, though. 2 in quick succession from that Deagles. Panic's trying to stabilize. Does get 2 back on the Galil. Levels things out, opens up the site as well. Not that they know it. Rotations rapidly coming through for Arky and Muterus, respectively. Setting up what little utility they've been able to afford to try and get past this wall of smokes. 3-on-3 with everyone here, though. Deagle spam through the smoke's gonna find it. That's bomb as well. Skrunk luckily manages to make the recovery. Taps it to bait the peek out, and they swarm through. Early frag found. Spam through the smoke good as well, but over the top of it, Arky getting yet more damage. Skrunk out of bullets with 18 seconds left. If they play the time smart here, Saw in a fantastic position. 14 seconds. Panics. Half HP. Swinging the angle. The Deagle spam not connecting, but he's buying time. Now the spam connects. Skrunk fakes it one more time, and that's one too many. Saw with 9. The Deagles and the Scout do it. Playing the clock far too much on the T side. And oh man, what a round to go the way of Saw.
Yeah, damn. I was foreshadowing it, I guess, when I was saying that it can be a dangerous combo of weapons, and well, it works out. It's going to be alternate now left in pretty much the exact same position, actually. They're going to come out with the 4 Deags and a Scout as well. A bit harder to make work, I've got to say, on the T side, but considering how aTTax has been performing so far, he's at 21-9. I'm still backing him up. He can probably hit some headshots on that Scout to make up for the fact that you need 2 to the body, but we'll see. Pretty slow round so far, actually, from alternate. Toss the bomb down? I know it comes back up, but still. I guess that's just to not make a bit of noise in case anyone's pushed up on mid. Nice kill though by Stadodo. I guess they're just looking for picks at the moment. There's no real plan, and I mean, I don't love it when you're on these weaker buys. You need something to, I guess, make up for the fact that you don't have the best of weaponry. Normally trying something together is the better plan at the moment, though. Just kind of spreading out, looking for picks. There's one from Crimbo, though, so he's going to shut me up real quick. And, well, a second from Process manages to win out the fight against Muturis, who gets caught in the stutter step in battle. Doesn't work in his favor, and, well, suddenly the man advantage is in favor of alternate.
Faceit in trouble. Arky isolated. That's the rifle recovered as well. Bomb going to go down. Somehow the force buys keep on working. Rome takes an early swing, spots out multiple. Might not even want to give this a go. I don't think he does.
I think, yeah.
Brutes with Stadodo going to look to save what they can. Alternate aTTax getting it done with even less than Saw had to bring. They'll pick themselves up a plethora of rifles as well. Can potentially start to go hunting. Again, I mean, you said you didn't like it, but a couple of quick picks. All it really takes on this map, right? One man goes down in mid, one goes down on B, and suddenly it's absolute chaos. But Stadodo will trade his teammate's death, but it means there's only going to be one saved rifle. They will want to be forcing into the next again. This jostle for control that we've seen pretty much constantly between these two teams. They'll want to try and get something out into this, even if it is incredibly limited once more. Alternate aTTax, far better position to try and finally put it to bed. Finally build themselves up a chance, build the foundation of a T side here on Vertigo.
Yeah, definitely should be doable. It's not like Saw are going to give it away, though. Again, they want to try and fight it. And they've got a little bit to work with. I mean, an M4, UMP, MP9, Scout, 5.7. Definitely a nice variety of weaponry. Is it going to be enough to actually win this one back? Well, could be. I mean, they've already done it with less, as we've seen before. They actually have decent utility as well, all things considered. Not going to use too much of it in the early moments. Already haven't actually lost the ramp control now. But the smoke goes in around sandbags, I guess, to try and keep the players busy for a few seconds. But early on, at least, Alternate have got themselves pretty good map control. Damage being done. I think it was a little bit of a wall bang onto Crystal. Brings him down to 29.
Yeah. I think it was the scout tag on the initial peak, but either way, damage is there to work with. This is where the pistols start to feel more viable. Scout of Stadodo looking for it. Gets another tag onto Panics. Not yet panic stations, but starting to feel that way. A minute left on the clock. They've got rid of almost all the utility. One flash, one smoke, one HE left for the CT side. So they will have a free execute. Nice nade onto Stadodo as well. Takes him down to half HP, and they are looking to relocate this attack over towards the B site, perhaps sensing that there is heavy stack of firepower over towards A. Another tag comes in.
Jesus.
Stadodo 3. And this is where things start to get a little worrying. Those MP9s, those UMPs will chew through you, but you've lost the 4A1S. Process catches perhaps a slightly too aggressive roam, and now the A site hit will come in. Now the extra utility will be dumped on them, and there's nothing the CT side can do. Trying to spam through. That's a headshot from Panics onto Scrunk. He's on 3 HP. A rifle would wallbang that. They'll get him as he retreats instead. 4-on-4, Stadodo does have the kit. The problem at this point is going to be that utility. 1 HE, if Just puts this in the right spot, it's kills, and it's a double! The nade goes perfectly. Panics gets one back. Process is the only other player with health. He's going to be hunted down. The MP9 gets him, and Panics has got 11 HP. To hold off 1v3, it was never going to happen. Saw, again, getting it done, and it is all Stadodo. It is all that scout. I think he tags 4 players. Panics tags the 5th for him. They dunk the nade into sandbags to get 2. And the retake lands once again. This back and forth is just never gonna stop.
Yeah, at least the initial 3 players. There might have been a 4th then afterwards as well. But as you said, that was just a train wreck. They all get picked off by the opponent's scout. And then once they get smokes down, which actually give them cover from it, Panics is like, oh, I'll be the dangerous scout instead and shoot Scrunk in the back of the head. It was an accident. I think he fell off the ledge back onto ramp as he took the shot. The inaccuracy then just made it so that it unfortunately hit him. And I mean, yeah, it was pretty unlucky. Either way, though, Saw win it back. We're continuously back and forth. Neither team is able to hold on to any control at all. And we will see again another force buy back in from alternate, and it's not bad. There's going to be 2 AKs at least in there, I believe. Scrunk has enough to drop one over. He has a scout on himself at the moment. I was wondering whether he'd keep that or if he'll go for his own AK, and yeah, that seems to be the play. And yeah, I mean, actually, they've got 3 AKs. I didn't realize Process had found one as well. It was dropped over by Panics.
Not actually a bad force at all. We do say these back and forths favour the T side with the economy as it is, but here's the illustrated guide. 3 AKs, a scout, a tech. Admittedly, full rifles up for the CT side. As a result, looking to contest some of these early angles. Dropping the utility to make sure they're not swung on from 2 corners simultaneously. Alternate aTTax will have to concede it. They want to keep their utility for an execute. A couple of players starting to sneak their way through the stairwell up on B. Scrunk looking to catch a timing. Not quite going to come through. That's a nice nade onto Crimbo. One-shot headshot now for the M4s. Couple of players being chipped away at by the utility. Rome spots out Panics on the headshot. Just again taking a lot of damage. Teammate this time here to back him up. Arky's pop flash gets him in. AK, of course, will be recovered, so not a done deal just yet. Bomb picked up with it. Problem is, they've already lost a man, and as Process swings in, the mid-control not going to land at all. Muterus starts to shut things down even further. Now it's all on that A-ramp hit. Rome has snuck his way to sandbags in the meanwhile. Scrunk, the only player with a molly to clear him out, is already up catwalk. Rome, here's all the footsteps. Panics is expecting it. Pop flash to get him out. Spray's awkward. That gives the game away a little bit now. Crystal will look to clear him out, but he doesn't find the shot. That's bomb. Hand delivered. Panics will at least trade him down, and they are tagged up now for the scout. 2 of them, 3 of them, in fact, within 1-shot range as the molly starts to push them wider. He switches out to the AK, though, and with 10 seconds left, they've got to get into this site now. It's never going to happen. They're caught on the ramp, but the spray down from Arky is just too good. By virtue of the clock, there we go. The words come out. The rounds do not. Alternate aTTax just falling a little bit short once again. 11 on the board, and they are finally broken at perhaps the worst possible moment.
Yeah, it looked like maybe things were going to work out for them when Roman had a tough time with that spray. But no, he was still able to come away with the 1 kill and just delay the extra couple of seconds then for his teammates to get ready to clear things up. 11-9, 2 rounds in the difference. We have finally obviously seen a couple of rounds being chained together now, and it should be alternate not being able to afford really anything at all here. I'd imagine even sticking mostly towards those Glocks, maybe just try a quick rush, get things over with, and then hope you can come alive in this next gun round. A bomb plant would actually be pretty helpful. They get 2400, so it's not like their buy will be bad, but if you want to get an up, if you want to get the extra few nades and such, then it would be a nice little bonus. Let's see what the plan is. They've used plenty of pauses, though. That's something you can't blame them. Can't fault there. A lot of the times you'll see teams just kind of forget those pauses exist.
2 HEs. Where's this stack going? Up the ramp?
Looking like it.
Lining something of a set play up. Early dinks coming in from the Glock. Spray down will be traded 1 for 1. Okay. Some good damage. They've got Rome down on 16 HP as well. I think he wants to try and guard this rifle if he can at all. Rotations, of course, will come in swiftly. 1 more frag would be great for these Glocks, but as Arky starts to stabilize, Crystal low, can't get anything done. Okay, Arky, just as I was starting to get a little concerned, just as I thought that second frag might come through, he steadies the ship. 12 are on the board, no bomb plant either. Alternate aTTax with their buy, but starting to get towards squeaky bum time, I think, for that T side, right? Starting to get a little nervous, a little twitchy in their seats. They're not going to have too many more rifle buys. This one has to go right. I mean, Panic's, all credit to him. Again, almost trying to single-handedly make it happen. 23 and 12 at the moment. Arky, the only player to match him. And that's going to be the fight we see panning out. Aggression, this time on B, just gets a freebie. Crimbo, with the flashes behind him, can't contest. Process might be able to catch the timing with 2 players here as well to contest. They're actually going to go for an off-angle boost. All spotted, and the spray down good for 1. He jumps, but somehow Arky is there to back him up. The scroll wheel jump almost gets him killed, but his teammate is there holding his hand. Panics and Scrunk left on the ramp, watching that kill feed, wondering what on earth has happened. They invested absolutely everything into this, and they've lost 3 players in the opening 30 seconds. Need something out of these guys. There's damage to play with. Muterus very low. Rome, not great. Problem is, Saw know exactly how to shut these kind of rounds down. Already just sat back, passive in the site. Not giving up any control at all. Just waiting for the execute to come in and play in their crossfires.
Yeah, still a few nades as well. So as you said, not really needing to give any peeks over. They can wait for Alternate to show their presence, and then they should have the numbers on either of these bomb sites, really. At least the trade there has been found by Scrunk, but he wants a little bit more. He wants to try and bring those numbers down before he actually commits to the bomb plant. Might have a chance here as the second swing comes true, but no, Rome is ready for him. That could have got real dangerous, though. If Roman went down, suddenly then Muterus is left on also really low health and around the corner. He probably just has to concede the bomb plant, and then it becomes a very winnable 1-on-2. So it is a big find there that Rome didn't let anything else slip away. 13-9, though. That was such an important round for Alternate, and within seconds it looked like it had already been lost for them. As you said, they were kind of just left around the ramp wondering what the hell had happened. And now all they're able to afford is a few pistols and cavalry again, so likely having to concede the 14-9 lead right now to Saw. We'll see whether they can get a bit from it, though. They are going to find some aggression around the top of ramp, and they do have Rome again trapped in towards the sandbags. But he's already got 1 kill, and he's done some damage, and at the moment it's just wasting time. He's keeping the attention of these players as Saw get everyone else pretty much ready around this bomb site, and, well, there's a nice spray from Muterus. Didn't quite transfer onto the third, though.
Opportunity maybe for a little more damage from Crimbone. No, shut down by Stadodo. 2 frags, though, not bad. I was going to say, that buy was deceptively worrying because the double AWP setup had just been bought for Justin Stadodo, respectively. And I was thinking, you know, maybe if they rush it, they get one of the AWPs picked off early. Then I start to get a little worried for it, but they get through it cleanly. I don't think they show their hand either. I think only one of the AWPs was firing, so this second AWP setup could still be a bit of a surprise for Alternate Attacks. And 14-9 down, you do not want to be being surprised by the CT side. In need of something here. Scrunk playing in and around the early smokes, taking so much damage. The molly will burn the last tick, but it's a team effort on ramp. Rome spamming away is tagging him time and again. An early man advantage, a fortuitous play from the CT side. And already 1 up. They're looking for more. They're looking to press the issue. Panics is here, posted on the AWP, and it just takes damage over on B. They want to be a little bit conscious of that. Panics still posted, still getting his chances. Dink through the wall will be converted on Rome. Desperately trying to hang on to this ramp control and doing a fantastic job of doing so. Has kept the man advantage in the CT side's favor for a little while. Has gone for the AWP and almost gets caught on the transition. Goes back for more and finds it, though. There's Muterus looking to shut it down all on his own. Double spray down. The A ramp control is exquisite from Source. Simply magnificent. 15-9. And Alternate Attacks, you look at their buy, you look at their economy, their finances. This is not good.
That's one way to put it. Not good. It's yeah, it's a bit of a travesty, to be honest. They do not have the perfect buy. I mean, it's okay. You've got 3 Galils, which lets them pull out a few nades at least. Panics on the scout, which again he's had some good rounds with. But it's not what you want here to try and fight to keep yourself alive. 15-9. You need 6 in a row, and already Stadodo kicks it off with an opening kill. Finds Crystal as he pushes down, aggressive on B early on. The boost over the ramp smoke will at least pull 1 kill back in from for Crimbo, rather. So they've got the 4-on-4. And maybe even an upgrade on that weapon. We'll see whether they're able to find that or not, rather. Arky's playing from sandbags, and we've seen this being done a lot, so I don't think this is going to really catch them.
Got Molly for it as well. Should be able to clear the angle. Muterus is taking a lot of damage on that wallbang. Pop Flash feigning the idea that Arky might swing. Instead he waits. Now he's looking for it, and all this timing is going to be everything. I thought he was going to try and escape. Instead, he hangs around for more, and he gets it. Scrunk, need to follow up. Good damage onto both of these players, and Muterus takes full advantage. A headshot of his own. Crimbo grabs 1 back, but he's quickly traded down. It's all Croesus. 1v3 gets the first. Muterus on 15 HP means this is not done just yet. Grabs the bomb with 40 seconds left on the clock. Can hightail it to B if he wants. Just on that secondary AWP, Muterus will swap to it. Low HP, fancies the bigger gun. Croesus starts to make his way up the catwalk. CT side are hanging around A. They're not going to go for the rotation. They're not going to split their forces. Happy to play the retake if it's required. And just with 20 seconds left, has the utility to deny this. Has got a molly. Flash smoke to get into the site. Process clearing his angles, hoping somebody gives him a peek, but nothing coming through. Smoke will go down. There's the molly lineup I was on about. That drops onto plant, starts to tick away at him. It burns him alive. It does the job for them. 16-9. It was 16-10 on Nuke. Saw's map pick. It's 16-9 here on Vertigo. And again, it is the CT side of this Portuguese team that is just dominating things at the moment. It's so well drilled. It's so clean. It's so coordinated. And Alternate Attacks just didn't have the answer today.
No, they did not. I mean, kind of expected against Saw, are probably still one of our favourites. I think it's a bit more questionable maybe this season because, as you said, we just have so many good teams. But with the early results, with them taking down big, with them making it look easy versus Nemiga, and now having a really strong showing as well versus Alternate, I think they're another one of those names that we need to be keeping an eye on for sure. But I don't think that was a bad result by Alternate. They had a lot of positives, especially back on Nuke. As we said, there was a lot of rounds where it really looked like they could have broke Saw and it would have put them in a position to take the map. But in the end, it's just the experience that lets them kind of grind out all of those clutch situations, it seems.
It's that big in the end again, isn't it? There's early scrappiness. There's Alternate Attacks showing us what they've got. You know, we've seen it from Panics, Crimbo. They are starting to find some really high fragging players, starting to find some individual brilliance. But then Saw stabilize, then Saw find their feet. Then they go onto the CT side, and it's like, okay, now we're in this game. Now we're starting to shut you down. Now we're starting to clean up the mistakes, not giving away those kind of half-buy situations, not giving away anything, if we're perfectly honest, right? Trading efficiently, trading cleanly, taking map control away. It is just a bit of a masterclass from Saw, and I think it's a shame because Alternate Attacks, they did look like a very solid team there. Obviously, Panic's absolutely popping off across 2 maps. Would have loved to have talked to him after the game. It's just unfortunate, I think, that they have come up against last season's finalists in their opening game of the group. It is by far one of the scariest teams they're going to have to face. Of course, Big are still lurking in the shadows, you know, the eyes in the darkness peering through, but that's a problem for another day.
Yeah, it can't be. I don't think you can be thinking about Big too much right now. I'm not. Well, unless they're their next game. Actually, I'm not sure if it's their next game. Then yeah, you can start thinking about that right now because you're going to need a lot of preparation. But as you said, this was definitely one of the harder games. And I mean, if you're just looking at results, Saw obviously beat Big, so maybe this one was maybe even a little bit more important. But yeah, again, they're going to have a tough time going into that game. But as we said, it's just such a competitive season that I don't think any game for any team is really going to be easy. You could see Saw definitely had moments here where things were going south for them, and they needed to basically throw everything at it to ensure that they didn't let anything slip away. But guys, that is going to be it for us. I believe this is also the last time myself and Wolfie are going to be over here on the A stream. We'll have some other casters next week, but we'll be on B, don't worry. So we'll have Tuesday and Wednesday covered for you over on the B stream as well. But yeah, I'm not too sure. Is there anything else we need to touch on, Wolfie? Do we know what games maybe are coming up? Is there other matches going on? Actually, that's what we should tell people about.
Don't know what other games there are. There's other matches going on currently. I think the B stream's still up. Dean will confirm that for me. There's also NA tonight on both A and B. As always, they follow us up with their own show and their own teams. So go watch them later on tonight. You're going to tell me if they can go watch the B stream right now, but that's about it.
Yeah, you can. Head over, basically just add a B to the end of the link, rather. You'll find a game which is Nemiga versus Benq, which for me is a pretty interesting one because obviously, as we said, Nemiga lost their first game. Benq have had some good results, taking a map off of Big and everything, so definitely a game you want to be keeping an eye on. Head over there, guys, but that's going to be it for us. Make sure you join us next week where we'll have some more great CS here in ESEA Premier for you. Ooh, that was a struggle, wasn't it, Wolfie? See you, boys.
Chasing love in an empty bar. Pour a drink till I make it past. The midnight hour seems to come and go, but I know. Walk on up with a drink in hand, sipping mixes cause you can. And all the lights begin to switch off. You're chasing the light, holding on for life. Chasing
chasing the night, chasing the night. Hotel rooms and city squares, champagne bottles, drum and snare. The sights and cities seem to fall away when you stay. Locked in love for a night or two, losing sleep just to get off you. Day to day you wanna stay out, you're chasing the night, holding on for life, feeling the high, chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, holding on for feeling the high, chasing the night, holding on for life, feeling the high, chasing the night, chasing the night. You call my bluff for the last time. This ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life. I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste it. I can't help you now, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up to get X and now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say Darnish, why you sad? I said I just need the thing. Red tape, got too close, I hate the city. Black face, show you everything you need till you fornicate it bad. Someone said it's sad, 'cause I used to want it bad. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you too many times, yeah. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you. I know it's in my head. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my
I